anybody here has watched a virtual concert before. Y'all might have because it's been going on for a while. But this is only our second one we've ever done. And they're a little awkward most of the time. And that's when we have a lead singer. So now, doing a virtual concert, so basically just playing in our living room. And I don't know any of the words of these songs, so I might be looking at my phone, reading the words. But we're going to do a couple songs. And then we've got, how many? 3 other artists, I think?
Three
Other incredible artists. They're incredible. It says it on the notes right there. They're incredible. So we'll introduce them in a second, but you want to play a couple songs?
I think we're going to play a couple songs.
Okay, so we're going to do some covers, some originals. First, we will.
In case y'all are wondering, he's not reading lyrics. He's looking on Instagram.
But I know this song because I wrote it. Okay. So this one's called Sweater. It's one of the first songs we ever released as a band. So here we go. 2, 3, 4. We were just friends in the middle of December that night. I always will remember. And I know, I was looking at you, you were looking at me. And I know, I'm never gonna let you see. It all started when you wore my sweater. I thought this thing was gonna last forever. I thank you God for all the colder weather. Back when it all started, when you wore my sweater. You wore my ooh, 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 ooh. Hey, you, ooh, ooh, ooh. It's been years, and we're still together when it's cold. We'll always have each other. And I know, I've been looking at you, you've been looking at me. And I know, I'm never gonna let you freeze. It all started when you wore my sweater. I thought this thing was gonna last forever. I'm thanking God for all the colder weather. Back then, it all started when you wore my sweater. You wore my ooh, 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 ooh. Rolling gray, looking back on memory. Oh, that's it. We're ending right there.
I thought we were ending.
I wasn't reading you right. Yeah, so that was our song, Sweater. I say
the good thing about playing like original songs,
you don't know if I'm saying the words wrong.
Most likely they don't know if you're singing the words wrong. Because like you wrote them, but
that was probably the song I know the lyrics to the best because we wrote that about probably 5 to 6 years ago now. We wrote it a while ago.
We've had a lot of practice.
We've probably played that song, I mean, literally probably a couple thousand times.
But how many times do you think you were the lead singer?
I've sang that song one time. We did another concert one time and our lead singer lost his voice and I sang it. Yeah. So I'm the drummer, if you didn't hear me say that before. He is the guitar player, so he's in his element. I'm not quite in mine, but I'm thinking if this goes well tonight, we might not call him back tomorrow. This might be the new band right here.
He might be the new singer.
But I definitely am going to look up the lyrics to this one because I did not write it, but I know the guy who did write it and perform it. His name is Luke Combs. He's a great artist, awesome songwriter. When I say I know him, I don't know him personally at all. I know of him. I've heard of him. And I've been to 2 of his concerts and seen him. So I feel like I know him. He probably would recognize me if we bumped into each other on the street. But
no, he'd probably want to know your name.
If you don't like country music, you might not know this song. If you do, you're going to know this one and you're going to know a few of the others we're going to play.
You see my hat. It might be backwards for y'all, but it says Georgia.
We're from Georgia.
That's where we're from.
So we like country music around here. So we're in Georgia right now. We're going to sing.
Hey, should you get like the set sheets just so we stay on time, or you know the time?
I have no idea.
Okay, let's go.
Wait, hold on. It starts off.
I think we're good.
Sunday morning, man, she woke up fighting mad. song about the time I had. And by Tuesday, you could say that girl was good as gone. And when Thursday rolled around, I was all alone. So I went for a drive to clear my mind, ended up at a shell on I-65. Then I won $100 on a scratch-off ticket, bought a 212-pack and a tank of gas with it. She swore it was a waste of time, oh, but she was wrong. I was caller number 5 on the radio station, bound 3-9 4-day beach vacation. Deep sea senorita fishing down in Panama. I ain't gotta see my ex-future mother-in-law anymore. Oh Lord, when it rains, it pours. I got this, verse 2. She was sure real quick to up and apologize when she heard about my newfound love gone effing down. And it's crazy how lately things just seem to come in waves. What I thought would be the death of me was my saving grace. It's got me thinking that her leaving was the only logical reason that I won $100 on a scratch-off ticket, bought 2 12-packs and a tank of gas with it. Swore it was a waste of time, oh, but she was wrong. I was caller number 5 on the radio station, won a 4-night, 3-day beach vacation. Deep sea senorita fishing down in Panama. I ain't gotta see my ex-future mother-in-law anymore. Oh Lord, when it rains, it pours. When it rains, it pours. Yeah.
See, I kind of ended that.
I like
one.
that.
I
I
waited
like
until you
yeah.
stopped. And
I'll lead
kept
him,
going.
you follow.
Yeah.
Hey, so we're gonna do some more songs in a minute here. But before that, what's that? Our producer's side stage. 7 minutes till what? Till I don't know what she's saying, but I have a paper to follow here. So I think I'm gonna introduce the next artist. Maybe not. If our next artist is ready. Are you? I need to. Oh yeah.
We are good.
We got the thumbs up from the producer. So here's the deal. Our next artist is a spoken word artist from South Florida who has toured over 1,000 colleges since 2006. So I didn't even know there were 1,000 colleges out there. So that means that he must have played them all. He's been seen on HBO's Deaf Poetry Jam. I've heard of that. TED Talks. That's pretty awesome.
I love TED Talks.
Button Poetry and NPR's Tiny Desk Contest. So, and So Far Sounds. He worked with companies like Disney to write Love on Her Arms and most recently Nokia Mobile. Please welcome Asia, everybody.
All right, Asia.
Come on.
So think back to when you were a child, and I want you to try to remember what you wanted to be when you grew up. You got it? Now try to guess what I wanted to be. Well, I wanted to be a heart surgeon / architect / painter / ninja. Like, that's a thing, right? Like, think about it. I would design and build a hospital where I work, saving lives by day while assassinating them by night. Only the bad guys, obviously. Okay, fine, mostly. Then use the blood of those I've slain to paint beautiful landscapes on my porch every Sunday. Okay, that's disturbing, but it's totally doable. And I kept believing that until Maya, a second grader, punched me in my 3rd grade stomach, and I let out such a loud scream, I realized I would make the most horrible ninja ever, but that's okay, because I could still be a heart surgeon / architect / painter. And I kept believing that until Mrs. Mercutio, my high school counselor, told me my grades were as low as my parents' income, so I better think of something else besides med school. To this day, I wonder if she's still there, flicking off the light switch inside our children to keep them from being brilliant, but that's okay, because I could still be an architect / painter. And I kept believing that until my father, who's an architect, said it's really hard to find a job as an architect. Wait, no. Until they said artists will always starve. Wait, no. Until be realistic. Until find stability. Until I had no slashes left to keep tabs of all of my dreams. As children, we transformed blankets into tents and explored the safaris of our bedrooms by flashlight. We wore goggles and snorkels in the bathtub, believing this was an ocean filled with wonders and sea creatures we will discover when we dive. We tied towels around our necks and flew off the coffee table, pointing to the spot where we needed to land to break our record. We drew pictures of ourselves, the astronauts / teachers, the ballet dancers / rock stars. I kept mine at the bottom of my drawer for safekeeping, only to find them last week, hidden beneath mortgage papers and credit card statements and the work badge I used to enter the building of a job I never wanted. How much further was I willing to bury who I was meant to become just to live a life that's steady? How long have I muffled the voices of those drawings when they tried to tell me steady is just the word we like to use anytime someone asks, how's your life? And we're too ashamed to give the actual answer. In 2006, my doctor looked me in the eyes and told me I had testicular cancer, to which I replied, yay, sounds like a ball. He didn't laugh. Instead, he says, you understand that after we remove one testicle, you only have one testicle left. And I said, okay, then I'll just change my name to One Hung Lo, because I'm Asian. Still nothing. Instead, he says, you might not be able to have children after this. You might want to consider having your sperm frozen before the surgery. And I said, great. I will never look at frozen yogurt the same way ever again. He didn't think any of my jokes were funny. But how could you not find them funny? You're talking about me, the guy who once had dreams of doing ambitious things and is now teaching telemarketing to students and retired bankers. The guy who was taught that being a man meant being fully equipped. And now you want to come snip and separate the Wonder Twins? The guy who will later tell his friends and they'll respond by texting him a picture of a wonton saying, hey, don't worry, we found you a replacement. The guy who's already so skinny that those automatic doors at the grocery store can't detect me and I have to wave my arms and jump like a madman until it opens. And now you're saying I may have to go through chemo, which will make me skinnier than I already am. Damn, how is that not hilarious? Yeah, you might not find that funny, but I can guarantee you that whoever's piloting my fate decided to raid the minibar, lock the cockpit doors, and is hysterically pissing their pants by now. Have you ever wondered why maniacal laughter is never included in the stages of grief? Maybe because it doesn't last that long. Maybe it's just a parenthesis, nestled between denial and anger, hold a grin between my clenched teeth, long enough to get the hell out of his office so I can cry on the shoulders of my car seat. How did I get here? I've never been one to go rogue and write my life past the margins. I once made billboards of my milestones and staggered them along my road to success. And now I'm wondering at what point did I lose the concrete beneath my steps? Maybe it's when my parents took that first flying exit out of their marriage. Maybe it's when I took that detour out of college, thinking there had to be a faster way, only to find myself going in circles until the student loan light started blinking. Maybe I got tired of running on empty. Maybe it's why I took that desk job that promised me my own corner office. Maybe I couldn't tell if it was the tie or the slow death strangling my neck, working long hours, paying for a degree I never got. Maybe that's what led to this. Laying on the hospital bed, my eyes towards the God I was told was the God of promise, asking, are you laughing yet? Do you not see this? The heavy-handed nurse pushing the needle in and out of my skin, failing to find a vein for the IV. The machines beeping like an SOS distress signal, like maybe this is it for me. The rock bottom ending to a life spent falling. How funny that the last words I'll ever hear is a doctor saying he'll do his best to make the scar as minimal as possible, as if my prayers resided on that. I don't remember anything after. I just remember the fade to black. But I do remember this. Just before the darkness engulfed me like a confession booth, just before the anesthesia grabbed me by the veins to drag me to my sleep, I heard a voice say, don't you see? This is your out. Because how can you ask to be molded into the person you're meant to be and then question how it's being done now? And when I woke up, I found myself here, standing on the stage, performing a poem where I get to say, I'm now 15 years cancer-free. I got a sexy battle scar slash beneath my belly. Oh, and remember what they said about me not being able to have children? Well, I should also mention, I now have a son much more perfect than any poem that can ever come from me. My son, who hides fruit snacks in the crevices of the couch and eats them again 2 days later. My son, who has this weird thing about placing stickers over his nipples. My son, who gets to pick out a book for us to read before he goes to bed and eventually figured out that the longer the book, the longer he gets to stay up. No, I will not read you the entire Twilight trilogy. Now put that back in mommy's drawer before you ruin it. My son, all right, so my son's potty trained, obviously, right? But he's at that age yet where he can't wipe himself yet. And so the other day he was in the toilet, like doing his business. And when he finished, I kid you not, this kid yells out, "Alexa, I'm done." I'm like, no, dude, Alexa doesn't do that. My son, who manages to leave Legos on the floor in the exact same spot I'll be walking in the middle of the night. So when the top of those Antichrist toys meets the bottom of my holy foot, I have to hold my mouth to silence the screams, because if I wake him, he won't go back to sleep for the rest of my life. If you think I'm overreacting, let me ask you, have you ever stepped barefoot on Legos? Trust me, it hurts a lot more than having a testicle removed, but I still let him have them, because every time we put a new Lego set together, he immediately takes it apart and rearranges all the pieces. And when I tell him that's not how it looks in the picture, he replies by saying, "It's okay, this way is better." Sometimes fate has a way of dismantling our lives to tell us it's okay, this way is better. May we all be rearranged and rebuilt like that. May the billboards of our plans be shredded by the wind. So I'll ask you again. Think back to when you were a child and the answer you gave when someone asked what you wanted to be when you grew up. Think of how quick those answers came, held together by slashes before the world tried tearing them apart. Yeah, we may no longer want what we wanted back then, but it doesn't mean our hearts are meant to settle for something we don't want now, because somewhere you're 6 years old, still filling in the blanks of all the things you've ever wanted to be. You, there could be firefighter/veterinarian you, there could be superhero/fashion designer you, there could be master chef/PlayStation gold medalist you, the wide-eyed wanderers with your gaze towards the horizon you, with the impossible mountains to climb. Do it for the gram. Bring your slash back. Place them between everything that makes up who you are, whoever that might be. Claim the amazing you've become and drop all the which no longer fits you. Me, I am Asia Sampson, writer/performer/cancer survivor/husband/father/professional napper. No, I never became an architect, but I found much more joy in building people up. No, I never became a heart surgeon, but I try to write poems that cut through the chest and get to what's broken. And no, I never became a ninja. Actually, that's not true. I'm totally a ninja. I'm like the most awesome ninja, fighting my best fight when the darkness comes. So tell the world to keep an eye out, because somewhere I'll be lurking, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And when I do, I promise you will never see me coming. What is going on, Cleveland State? Thank you guys so much for having me. I have to make sure that I'm like in focus here, because for some reason, like I was going out of focus and I just noticed that, and I don't want to like bother y'all to make sure that like there. I'm hoping that that's better. Yeah. Okay. So I was doing my sound check earlier and everything was great. And I think somehow or the other, the focus got off. I'm so glad to be here, y'all. It's these virtual shows is not necessarily the most ideal thing that we have had to do, but you know, with COVID and everything like that, it is one of those kind of adjustments that we've had to make in our lives nowadays, right? So a lot of the stuff is starting to become like that new normal, but I do miss being in front of people like yourselves. I've done Cleveland State University many times since I've started touring. I believe I've been there like 3 times already. And so to do it virtually, I'm still very honored that we can still do it. At least we can still provide music and poetry and arts to all of you, even if we can't personally be there. So it's a little weird because we know that we don't get the reaction. We can't see y'all, but you know, I am glad to share this virtual stage with some amazing other artists in the roster tonight. Chibbi Arduna is another poet who you will see later on. And I just wanted to give him a quick shout out because he's my buddy, my friend. And I just realized, I was thinking, when's the last time me and Chibbi did a show together? And the last time me and Chibbi did a show together, I was wearing the exact same thing. Like it just now dawned on me. It's Chibbi, I rotate my clothes, okay? This is not like poetry outfit. Okay, just letting you know that I do change. Yeah, so tonight I'm gonna do a couple more poems for y'all. I'm gonna do like a 45-minute set. And before I do that, throughout the set, I'm gonna sprinkle in some haikus. All right, now I can get your reactions to this, but if you don't know what a haiku is a a 3-line poem. It's made up of 5 syllables, followed by 7, followed by 5, right? So these might be deep, because you have to compile all these deep thoughts into just 3 lines of poetry. So if you don't get them right now, don't feel bad. But maybe after the show tonight, you'll be sitting back and you'll hear the haiku in your head again and be like, wow, that was pretty deep, Asia. So don't feel bad if you don't get them. They are a little deep, but here you go. Turn up, on fleek, cash me outside. Stop texting me, mom, you're 65. Ah, that was deep, real deep, real deep. I've got 99 problems, but a testicle, I only have one. It's hard when I'm laughing to myself. Just because I have small feet doesn't mean I have a small, you know what, let's skip that one. So earlier in my introduction, they said that I worked with Nokia Mobile. So many years ago, I had done this poem called 90s Love, and it did really well online. It sort of went viral. A lot of people started knowing me for that poem. And during that, when it was like blowing up or whatever, I get an email from Nokia Mobile. Now, for all of you young guys who don't remember who Nokia Mobile is, Nokia was the old cell phone company, and they used to make these brick cell phones that were indestructible, basically. So they called me up and they said, you know what, we are going to release that phone again. We're going to try to do this retro thing. Can you take your 90s poem and just redo it to be a 2000s poem? Now, I used to do the 90s poems, all my college touring, all my college shows. I used to do the 90s poem a lot, but as I started getting older and touring more, I started realizing a lot less of you are starting to get the references of the 90s poem. Because I mean, like every year I come back to a school, I've grown up to be a year older, but y'all have stayed the same age. So then when they asked me to do this 2000 poem, I said, oh, wow, this will be great. This allows me to now tour a new poem to the colleges that a lot of the younger people will understand or will get the references. So I'm going to do this. I can't hear your laughter, right? But maybe just do some likes or reactions or whatever. I can't see them right now, but I'll see them later. So it's called Millennium Love. I want to love you like 2000s. I want to love you like sport headbands and long white tees. I want to love you like FUBU jacket and Echo jeans. I want to love you like fitted caps with the tag still showing and be all up in the club when the bows start throwing. Me with a Jersey Shore blowout and super clean white sneaks. You with a tight pink tracksuit with the word princess written in rhinestones across your butt cheeks. And just in case you want to skeet, I'll love you from the windows to the wall on the other side of the room that also has windows. You know what? I don't even know what that means. I want to love you like 2000s. Back when love was as reliable as my very first cell phone. And for you, I'll spend the 99 cents to download your perfect ringtone. So go ahead and call me over and over again. I want to love you like I love my Nokia 3310. That was the product placement I had to put in the poem. Where was I? The kind of love you can drop over and over and it'll never crack. I want to love you like that. The kind of love where I don't need games to keep me fulfilled. Because unlike smartphones today, my Nokia only had one game you can play. Who needs an Angry Bird when I can love you like Snake? Easy to learn, but hella hard to master. And getting through it only gets harder because love ain't supposed to be easy. Girl, please. It's supposed to be as difficult as texting I love you using only the number keys. Like you got to press the number 8 3 times just to get a letter V. Love is crazy. Love is insane, yo. Love is creating voicemail greetings to start with a 1-minute slow jam intro. And we both know it sounded amazingly lame, but not as lame as spending hours staring at my computer waiting for you to pop up on AIM. And after the long awaited wait, the first thing I do to find out if this love is true is to check if I made it to your MySpace top 8. I want to love you like 2000s. The kind of love as dramatic as primetime TV. I want our love to be awesome. Make you the Joey to my boss Dawson, the New York to my Flavor Flav, the Jon Stewart to my Stephen Colbert. I want to love you right there through everything, even through all the Grey's Anatomy type of pain. And just when I think all hope is lost, I'll find you right behind me like Rachel to Ross saying, I got off the plane. That was the best line of the 2000 era, just FYI. I want to love you like 2000s. I want to love you like we love saying what's up and chillax. I want to love you like Puffy and everyone's video telling you to take that, take that. Back when love was over the top as a Missy Elliott wearing a shiny garbage bag, working it with fluorescent paint on her face. I want to love you the way Nelly loved Band-Aids, the way 182 loved to blink. I want to love you the way people love debating who was better, Backstreet Boys or NSYNC. The answer is Boyz II Men. The answer is always Boys to Men. I want to love you like 2000s. I want to love you like the iPod Classic with the click wheel and fill it with the 1000 love songs we learned how to steal. I'm sorry, not steal. They said it was all free. That's why we spent all night on Napster downloading MP3s. Besides, who's really going to tell? I want to love you like the day my internet got upgraded to DSL, because let's face it, 56K dial-up would always stall, messing up my house phone and disconnecting calls. But like love, I'll find a way to reach you wherever you are. I want to love you the way you love the 6-disc CD changer in the trunk of your car. And since you can't reach it, you better choose the 6 CDs you're willing to listen to with no doubt. Otherwise, you'll have to pull over to the side of the road just to change it out. But like love, we'll stop whatever we're doing just to keep things at its best, because love has always been about progress. Each day an exciting time to discover something new. So I want to love you like 2000s, where every bold step into the future is just a step for me to get closer to you. Now take that, take that. So that's my love poem. We're about to get really serious. I've been wanting to start off light tonight so that I don't like bring you guys all the way too far down, right? But I'm gonna take you on a little journey tonight, right? Starting with that love song, that love poem, to kind of give you a little glimpse of my life. Now, in the beginning of the set, in my first poem, I mentioned that I had testicular cancer. Now, having testicular cancer made it pretty much impossible if I wanted to have children. Not impossible, because there are people who've done it, but we knew that it was going to be probably difficult for me to have kids. Now, 2 years after my cancer, I went through the chemo and everything, or the surgery. I'm sorry, I didn't have to go through chemo. But after the 2 years after I had the cancer removed, we managed to get pregnant, and we got really excited, super excited about it, and we thought this is it. It's going to be great. 2 months into the pregnancy, though, me and my wife were driving home from a holiday party, and on the way home, she was like, "Can you just get home as quickly as you can? I really need to use the bathroom." So I rushed home, and when we got there, she went into the bathroom, and then she calls out to me. She's like, "Asia, can you come here really quickly?" This is kind of where this picks up. I already mentioned that we did manage to have children, but getting to that point was not easy. And so I wrote this poem. It's without a doubt one of the hardest poems I'd had to write. So before I give you like a really tough poem, let me just open it up with a couple of haikus. Matter of fact, these are 3 new haikus. These are COVID haikus that I wrote during shelter in place. 2020, you are like my ex-girlfriend, exciting, but crazy. I wear masks. No, not the kind that stops viruses. I'm robbing a bank. If COVID teaches us anything, it's how to use unfriend button. Because for real, like there's so many idiots out there, y'all. You know what I mean? Like there just is. The shower has been running for over an hour. When I find her, she's sitting cross-legged at the far end of the bathtub. Without looking up, she says, "The blood has finally slowed down." These were the first words she's spoken since the hospital. I'm sure she's been waiting to speak until now, at least here, with the water streaming down her face. There's no way for me to tell if she's been crying. She says, "Remind me tomorrow to cancel the baby registry." What am I supposed to say? I'm supposed to be good with words, but right now there's a bright pink river snaking its way towards the drain, and I can't get my tongue to paddle us upstream back into her womb where we left our happiness yesterday. I read the story of a 12-year-old boy locked for 2 years in the bathroom, the light switch covered with duct tape to keep him from turning on the lights. When they found him, he was too weak to climb out of the bathtub on his own. Before that, I read the story of a 3-year-old child hung upside down and beaten with a frying pan, then left to die on the floor while his parents screwed on the air mattress next to him. Before that, I read the story of a 6-year-old girl who felt the only way to overcome the bullying was to hang herself with a jump rope. A jump rope At what point did she feel so ignored? She felt the only way to be heard was to turn that jump rope into a cord, tie that cord around her voice, anchor it to the heavens, and play telephone with God. Sweet, sweet girl, if only my wife would have heard you. She would have answered that call. She would have shown you how to use that jump rope properly. It's why I don't tell her these stories of these children born into monsters and afraid to sleep in the dark, because it would only remind her there's a nightlight we bought for the nursery that will never be used. It's even one of those nightlights that light up the ceiling with tiny stars. That night, we slept in each other's arms, our bodies entwined into a figure eight of infinity, because that's how loud we dialed up the silence. And the only words of comfort I could muster was to tell her we'll just be the best and an uncle to everyone else's kids like this, with some sort of consolation prize. Sometimes the math just doesn't add up. On one side is a child wanting nothing more than a safe place to sleep. On the other, our parents staring at a crib they will never get to assemble. My God, can you not see this? Can you not do something to close the distance? Or at least tell me what to say to my wife to lift her up? When an empty womb feels so heavy, all she can do is collapse in the corner of our bathtub that Sunday. As I sat in church with my arms crossed, I glanced over to find her on her knees, her surrender telling me that sometimes the only way up is to hit the ground. The whispered prayers will reach heaven further than my screams. And for 2 years she did this, not once getting loud, stacked each prayer on top of the other until it was high enough to pierce the clouds. And finally he answered, his cross appearing in the window of that positive pregnancy test. And now I'm bent over the same bathtub I found her years before, giving our 2-year-old son a bath. He splashes water on the floor, laughs when I get angry, and when we finish, when I tell him to put his bath toys away, he kisses each one just before he drops it into the basket. He knows how to love because he is loved. He knows how to love because he is loved. I pray every child could be as lucky. So yeah, I can't see how you guys are reacting, but I hope that was hard, but a lot of times all these things happen for a reason, right? A lot of the things that and I don't like to be the one to say things happen for a reason, especially if, you lost someone or something really bad happened. Matter of fact, 2 weeks ago, I'm really glad to be in the show because this almost never happened. 2 weeks ago, our area, I moved from Miami and I'm now living in the panhandle of Florida. And a couple of weeks ago, we were hit with Hurricane Sally. And, just when we thought we were trying to get everything situated back, gladly my family's safe. The house was okay. We did have some flooding in my garage and my deck collapsed in the back. It's horrible, but at least the house and my family's cool. Just when we were trying to get things back to normal, there was supposed to be another one that was heading for New Orleans, and we were hoping it wasn't going to come here. So I almost had to keep an eye out for Hurricane Delta, which hit last night. So prayers to all the ones who live in Louisiana and had to go through that. But I had to keep a lookout for it because if it would have hit here, then I wouldn't be able to do this show. But I don't like to say things happen for a reason, because really messed up things happen to us. And, to say that things happen for a reason downplays the kind of pain that we feel. But what I do believe, though, is that things do shape us, right? The things that happen to us, as horrible as they might be, shapes us. And the story doesn't always necessarily end right there, right? We go through something, we defeat it, and then something else pops up, right? Kind of like hurricanes, right? So, my wife and I, we had a couple of miscarriages until we finally were able to have our kid. And looking at it now, the way my kid is, he's 6 years old, and it's just an amazing time for me to have him now, right? I wish that we didn't have that we didn't have those miscarriages before. Sorry, I started thinking about what we went through and kind of just hit me a little bit. Those things happen, but now I look at my son and I just appreciate him a lot more for being this miracle kid. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but when my son was born, they found that he had a thing called neurofibromatosis. Now, if you are not aware of neurofibromatosis, it's basically a rare genetic condition. It really doesn't do anything to him. Doesn't hinder him from stuff. It may cause slight delays. He was 3 years old and he wasn't even able to jump yet. He didn't start walking till he was 17. He didn't start 17 months, and he didn't start talking until maybe 2.5, 3 years. And now I can get him to shut up, y'all. Like, really? Like, he just won't shut up. That's just, those are things that he had to overcome. They say that with NF, the worst case scenario is that he will start getting tumors everywhere. And these tumors are normally not cancerous, but that if you've ever seen pictures of people with like their face looks like it's melting, those are people most times with NF, like the very, very rare cases of NF. But my son doesn't have that. But what he does have is a bunch of these cafe au lait spots. They're basically spots all over the body. And that's how they knew that he might have NF, right? That's pretty much the telltale sign when a kid is born that they might have neurofibromatosis if they have a lot of birthmarks all over them. And my son did. So I've been wanting to write a poem for him for a very long time, ever since he was born. But I didn't want to do some cliche type of poem. I just didn't want to just do this, father loves son type of poem. I knew that if I'm going to write a poem for my first and only son, then I need to make it special. And so a lot of times as artists, you just have to leave something alone and let it come to you when it comes to you. So last year he started kindergarten, started first grade. No, he's first grade now. Started kindergarten last year, and I was getting him dressed for school, and I was putting a hoodie on him. And it was 90 degrees outside, but I put a hoodie on him because I was trying to hide the spots on him because I didn't want him to be made fun of on his first day of school. And he started fighting me on it because he's saying it's hot. And then I realized, what am I doing? I'm already setting this kid up to be ashamed of something. And so I wanted to, and that's immediately was when I knew I needed to write this poem. I dedicate this not only to my son, but to the rest of you, who we all have something inside us that we are ashamed of. There are things about us that we don't let anybody else see. And I just want you to know that you don't have to hide those things, right? We are all made so beautifully, and we are all made to be who we are. And we need to get into that space where we accept everything about us, everything that might be a flaw, or everything that we might not think is perfect, because that's who we are. We are not made to be perfect. We are made to be unique. And so this is the poem I wrote for him. Before that, open up with a couple more haikus, and then we'll get to it. Despite stereotype, not all Asians are good at math. That's why this haiku has 27 syllables. You think I need pills because I can't sit still. Maybe you're just boring. So I wrote that for my son because during his first few years in school, like when he was in pre-K, he had a teacher that I really didn't like very much. And she was complaining that he was too busy. He said, maybe you guys may want to get it checked out and see why he's that way. And it just really irked me because it's like, you were just ready to give my son some pills, Anyway, I asked my son what he wants to be when he grows up. He said, happy. Every year, there are roughly 130 million babies and 150 billion stars born in the entire known universe. In a span of 9 years, my wife and I had 3 known miscarriages. All that to say, we spent a lot of time floating in the empty void of space, wondering why the numbers never stacked in our favor. When we finally caught the comet, the geneticist saw the 100 tiny birthmarks that freckled my son's entire body and told us this was a symptom of neurofibromatosis, a rare genetic condition that can cause benign tumors to grow in the brain, spinal cord, and nerves. At its worst, so many tumors can grow, it can sag his skin and make his face look like it's melting. And I'm wondering, how will I handle the tumors if they come? If I can't even stand to look at the birthmarks that are already there, fast forward 4 years. It's his first day of school and he's throwing a tantrum because I'm making him wear a hoodie in this 90-degree weather, but I can't tell him I'm trying to hide the spots. It's just, I know too well people's tendency to be cruel, how they like to chop down trees just to make more handles to mount their axe, and I won't let him get whittled down by sharp tongues like that, watching them take from him and turn him into something that he's not until he slowly becomes the weapon that's turning on himself. I know too well that kind of self-hate, and right now I'm just doing my best to control the fate of what's meant to become of my son. So please just put this hoodie on because you can't yet see your birthmarks for what they truly are. But just then, while standing there naked, he held up his arms and said, Daddy, they look like stars. And pointing to the biggest one on his ribs, he said, "Daddy, this one looks like a spaceship. So forgive me for failing to compose myself when he started making up stories of the spaceship flying through the galaxy that is his body. Have I forgotten how much energy it takes to create a planet? Have I forgotten about the black hole that can suck the life out of an empty womb? Have I forgotten about the empty space that was left behind after the first time I dismantled the unused crib in our bedroom? How dare me think I know more about this universe than you do? How dare me forget all the stars that fizzled out before you came shining through? You were born, you are here, riddled with spots as proof you exist. It's why they call them birthmarks to begin with. So how lucky are we that you have more than most? Miracle boy, I know one day you might want to eclipse yourself into that hoodie to hide behind the moon as they stare and point. Well, let them stare and point the same way they stare and point at stars in wonder and awe. Remind them they are merely specks of dust in the vastness of your presence. And when the bullies come with their meteor shower of insults aiming to hit you at your core, swing your Milky Way arms to the bridge of their nose so they will always know, that you are the Big Bang your mother and I have been waiting for, you walking constellation, you light speed traveler, you rocket of hope. I've gone on with this metaphor for too long, I know, but every year there are roughly 130 million babies and 150 billion stars born in the entire known universe. All that to say, no matter how worse your condition becomes, we will always love you until infinity. You are our son, our 1 in 150 billion. So I hope you like that. That's actually one of my favorite poems right now because it just meant so much to me to be able to write that poem finally for him. And he's doing good. He's in first grade and he's awesome, man. He has no shame about anything. And matter of fact, he's made such an impact at the school that every kid at that school knows who he is. It's the oddest thing because parents know him because of their kids. I once got stopped in traffic and someone rolled their window down and was signaling to me. I look over and they're like, "Are you Eris's dad?" I'm like, "I am." He's like, "Oh, our daughter has Eris stories every day." And I'm like, "Oh my God, my kid," right? He's amazing. Matter of fact, over here, I'm gonna show this to y'all because y'all are here. But my son, this is a snow cone machine, a real snow cone machine, mind you. And the reason I'm showing it off to you is because this dude ordered it off my Amazon. Like, he's 6 years old. How he managed to figure out how to order, he had my phone. And then somehow or the other, one day I saw a charge in my bank account from Amazon. I thought it was something that I bought. And then I checked my Amazon and there this was already on its way. It got delivered 2 days later. And I'm like, "What is this?" And then I asked him, I said, "How did you order that? How did you even know? How did you even know how to spell it?" And he like presses the microphone and just says like this. And he presses the microphone and then talk to text. I'm like, "How are you this smart when it comes to like electronics?" And like, it scares me off because I don't even know what other stuff he has ordered. Anyway, so I have like 2 more poems for y'all. These 2 are like my newest. So I'm going to ask for your forgiveness if I screw it up a little bit. It's a little different when I do my shows live, right? Because if I mess up, I can kind of feed off the crowd and whatever. And if I mess up now, there's nobody here to kind of cheer me on, right? And say, "You got it," right? But I can do it. I know it. And I have backup, I have it written just in case. But these are the newest poems that I wrote during COVID. And because we haven't really been touring, I haven't had a chance to really test them out. So you guys are one of the first few schools that actually get to hear this. So I hope you enjoy it. The first one is about fatherhood, about me as a son to my father, and also what it's like to be a father. And, if you have a father who wants things to be perfect and like is trying to paint like the picture of a perfect family, then just know that I know exactly how you feel. And this is the poem. Ask any member of my family how to prepare a particular dish, and I guarantee you won't get an exact recipe. Case in point, once, while trying to decipher the scribbles my father gave me on how to make pork adobo, I called him to find out how much vinegar to add to the soy sauce, and he replied, "Oh, enough." Like, what the hell is that supposed to mean? It would take me years to realize that even he didn't know the answer. The recipe was my grandmother's, and she was known for her cooking and not for her clarity. Her answers were always elusive and quick, as if her words were fugitives trying to outrun time in the past was quickly sniffing out her trail. Case in point, Once, while her children kept pressing her for the truth about their father's disappearance, without fail, she simply turned over on her deathbed and said, okay, that's enough. It's been years since we laid her to rest, but good luck trying to convince my father that during death, the muscles harden because he's still trying to pry the secrets she died clutching between those cooking hands. He continues to stir the pot, searching for his father like a missing page in a cookbook, like there was a picture followed by instructions, but he stopped knowing what to do after a certain point, and now he tinkers with the recipe, hell-bent on making his own family as perfect as that picture, as if nothing will ever taste right until it does. I think the kare-kare needs more sugar. I heard he was last seen in Manila. Her sinigang was never this sour. I'm pretty sure there's someone that can track him down. Can you tell me? I'm pretty sure there's something missing. Can you tell me what happened? I just want to know what this is missing. I just want to know what happened. Does this taste like hers to you? Do you think he left because of us? Was I not good enough? I asked him if it matters that much. If the truth are like refrigerator doors that once opened will shed a light on his own shortcomings, and he says the truth won't be easy to digest. How could he know if he's done his best as a father without a point of reference? So I tell him fatherhood is no different than the recipes he gave me. Scribbled and messy, we make of it what we can, throw it against the wall and see what sticks, because the truth is, between his and my grandmother's cooking, I actually prefer his, because as epic as her dishes were, to me they are just memories now, but yours, dear father, still lingers in my mouth. You've done well with the ingredients you've been given. You've done well with keeping us full, enough for the careful measures, enough for the chasing of ghosts, enough for the lighting of stoves, trying to hold a flame to your mother's greatness, because even she will tell you that the most flavorful life was always made to taste. She will tell you her recipes were vague because they were never meant to be obeyed. She will tell you we may not look as perfect as that picture, but goddamn, we cooked up something pretty great anyway. But if you still insist, okay. I will confess this. Once, when I was 12 years old, she led me into the kitchen and taught me how to cook her signature sweet fried rice. Taught me how to make it taste exactly like hers. I'm pretty sure she knew I would teach it to you one day. So I'll show you how to make it. A complete and detailed recipe, a little bit of her that's been left untouched. We both hope it can fill that void, and we both hope, dear father, it's enough. All right, guys, so I only have one last poem to close out for y'all. Thank you guys so much for hanging with us. I know it's a 3-hour show, and I'm hoping that you're just kicking back, enjoying it. And we have so many amazing artists on this lineup tonight. So enjoy it, have a good time, man, and sit back and relax. And when all of this is over, then we hope that we can finally start going there and seeing you guys again and performing live for all of you amazing people. If you want to follow me, I am on all social media. Just look for the Asia Project. That's the Asia Project, not the Asian Project. If you go to the Asian Project, that's like, if you go to the asianproject.com, it's a website that sells bowls and noodles. Like, that's not me. All right. I don't want you to go to that site. Be like, oh, that's his hustle. No, that's not. The Asia Project. And from there.com, from there, it'll lead you to our online store. We have shirts, we have merchandise on there. And it'll also lead you to all of our links on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. I love being on Instagram. I'm on Instagram a lot. So make sure you come see me there. And also, I've been doing a lot of vlogs on YouTube. So follow me on there as well. So I'm going to close out with this. I just wanted to say, I've been doing this for a long time. 2020, 14 years, I've been doing spoken word as a career. And when I first started, I was on HBO and I did all these big things. And I remember just wanting to be like, blow up, whatever that means, right? I wanted all these things for myself. And as the years went by, it kind of just, I'd made a career out of it, but kind of just dragging by slowly. And I realized after my son was born and after, the things that we've gone through as a family, and then after this hurricane that hit us, you start to realize that those are not the things that are important. The thing, like, especially when it comes to like hurricanes, we could lose everything as long as we don't lose ourselves. Like, we don't lose our family, we don't lose our loved ones. The things that we've collected in our lives or experiences we've had, those are things that can never be taken from you. No storm, no thief, no one can take those things away from you. And all we have to do is live a life that we are proud of. That's it. That's the goal, right? It's not about getting rich. It's not about getting famous. It's about living a life that we are proud of. And that's what I hope for all of you as you start to find your way into this world. Going to school now and get back in school and preparing for a career one day. Do the things that will make your life proud, that will make you proud of your life when you are ready to die, right? That's what's important, not the money, not the fame. So I wanted to kind of close out with this poem to kind of just drive that home about what's really important in our lives. This is the newest of all of them. And so I hope you like it, but we're gonna close out with 3 last haikus and then I will get out your way. These are my favorite haikus, by the way. So if you ain't laughing at these, then I don't know what to tell you. I believe there's no such things as dogs, said the dyslexic atheist. I'll wait. Actually, you might want me to repeat that. That was pretty deep. I believe there's no such things as dogs, said the dyslexic atheist. Practice safe sex. Use protection, like a helmet. Hashtag headboards hurt. And finally, I'm going to give you one that you can use as a mantra because I wrote this when I was going through a really hard time. Okay, I was going through a moment of hard times, and I wrote this while I was going through that hard time, and now I use this to repeat to myself whenever I go through that hard time again. So I want you to remember this one for your own self when you go through hard times. Push through the pain, no matter how hard. Victory will be yours. Pooping. After my sister died, my siblings and I had this morbid joke about what we would want written on our tombstones. I told them I wanted mine to say, "Thank you for visiting. Now please stop standing on my nuts." Not once, between the sick laughter in our teeth, did it occur to any of us. We don't write our own tombstones. Now, if the thought of that doesn't scare you, then clearly you haven't thought about the jury responsible for yours, our lovers, our family and friends, or God forbid, our children, because those fuckers have more evidence to judge us than anyone. And you're saying that doesn't scare you to death? You don't turn ghosts at the thought that there are people out there who could see right through you. Relax. No one is paying good money to the chisel to remind us you were kind of a dick. Even killers are buried in forgotten and unmarked graves. I am not afraid to be forgotten. I am more afraid my grave will be a monument to a man I never actually became, this embellished lie planted above my casket, forever to hang over my head. But had you asked me back then, I would have said, carve me legend, carve me saddled on my high horse, carve all my accolades around the base. Might want to spring for the entire mausoleum to make it all fit, if you know what I'm saying. But I've since racked up too much mileage on this tongue from all the years spent running my mouth, and I've since found out that the choir that sings your praises can quickly become the choir that will tear down your pulpit for the materials to build your cross. I know I'm no Jesus. Most times, it's my own God complex that has even my loved ones staring me down with a handful of nails. I'm pretty sure they can't wait to hammer into my ankles if it'll keep me from constantly putting my foot in my mouth. But if I could just manage to mortician the ego out, then maybe my open casket won't look so grotesque. We just want to put our best face forward. It's just most times my best face forward has me turning my back to those responsible for collecting my bones. There's a reason resumes are not carved on tombstones. There's a reason my son can't quote a lick of any of my poems, but word for word recite every one of my bedtime stories that has made him laugh. I remind myself that. Water where the grass grows, because the worst blow anyone could deliver to a writer like me is a tombstone with something so cliche like loving husband and father, just to take up the space of having nothing else better to say. Nothing is worse than being forgotten, than being remembered but unforgiven. It's why this poem is now in its 50th revision, rewriting and rewriting until I have a story where I don't end up the bad guy, because sometimes the bad guys are the ones with the best intentions but became too obsessed trying to control what their tombstone will say. I don't ever want to win this life like that. I want to be one of the good guys to finish last. I want to be so far back on my final lap that by the time I cross the finish line, the balloons are gone. The music has stopped. The crowd is dispersed. And the only ones left to cheer me on are those that taught me compassion, taught me decency, taught me humility, and just maybe I'll make them proud enough to tell the chisel, to tell the tombstone, he was a good man. Yeah, that's it. As simple as that might be, I just really want my tombstone say, he was a good man. Now please stop standing on his nuts. Cleveland State University, it was an honor. Thank you guys so much. And now I'm gonna bring it right back to OBB. Peace, y'all.
I hope everybody is clapping in
Yeah.
their living rooms right now.
I'm sure they are, even though they probably feel a little awkward being alone,
Yeah.
clapping, but
your roommates or whatever wondering what you're doing. That was awesome, Asia. Everybody go check out his website, get some of his merchandise. What did he say the other website was that was not him? What did they sell?
Like I said, noodles and
Something about noodles. I might go check that out too, because those are probably some quality noodles.
Did you say pool noodles or like noodles you eat?
I'm guessing noodles you eat just because
you're hungry.
I don't know. But anyways, we're gonna play a couple more songs and then keep this party rolling, right?
Yep. Again, in case we have new viewers.
Oh yeah, we're
old
OBB.
viewers.
We're 2/3 of
So
OBB.
we're OB.
We're OB. We're
missing
missing
a B.
the other B. Actually, we're missing the O for the B's.
So we're BB.
The O is sick today. He can't make it in. So
His name is not Oscar, even though you would think it was.
we're gonna miss him. But we're gonna do the show without him anyways. He's the lead singer, so now I'm the lead singer. Just got an upgrade, a pay raise, everything. I used to be the drummer, which that's a free position in this band. So now I'm actually getting paid for the first time ever at a show.
And I used to be the backup dancer.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna try guitar.
Upgrading it to guitar.
Yeah.
All right. So you want to do that Morgan Wallen song?
He's one of my favorite artists, but then he had that like controversy.
Yeah.
I don't really know what
There is a
happened, but-
comment section, by the way. Later on, we might turn on the comment section.
Wait, how do you do that?
There's a little thing right there that says chat.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
So maybe, how about this?
No, she said no.
No, the
will
producer
not
Sugarhead,
read any
no.
comments.
No comment section. That's out of the window.
We'll just pretend like we're reading your comments.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look, that one says,
This is what we'll do.
hey, Nick.
You guys go ahead and type a comment out. We're not going to read it, but then
No.
we're going to make up our own comments
Yeah.
and we're going to answer some questions that we just want to ask ourselves later after this
Yeah.
song. So, but before that, we're going to play 7 Summers by Morgan Wallen.
Is this his newest song? Do you know?
No, I think he just released one after that.
Oh.
But then he made out with some girls on TikTok
Yeah.
and he got shamed for it.
Yep.
And
Now he's not playing on-
Now he's out.
SNL.
You're out, Morgan.
Yeah. So
Get outta
we're
here.
gonna go play on SNL.
So we're taking
your
your
songs.
spots.
Here we go.
Play that.
Yeah, you used to talk about going even further south, somewhere with the summer lasting all year round. Probably got a big old diamond on your hand right now. Maybe a baby or a couple by now. Driveway to a big white house. And I wonder when you're drinking if you find yourself thinking about that boy from East Tennessee. And I know we both knew better, but we still said forever in that 7 summers of cold southern comfort. We dumb or just younger, no. Back when you used to love the river, sipping on a 6er with me. Does it ever make you sad? No, that was 7 summers ago. Yeah, I bet your daddy's so proud how his little girl turned out. Really dodged a bullet from a good old boy like me. I still go drink the same friends on Friday. Bought a few acres, couple roads off the highway. Guess you never saw things my way anyway. And I wonder when you're drinking if you find yourself thinking about that boy from East Tennessee. And I know we both knew better, but we still said forever in the 7 summers of cold southern comfort. We dumb or just younger, no. Back when you used to love the river, sipping on a 6er with me. Does it ever make you sad? That was 7 summers ago. 7 summers ago. 7 summers ago. Man, that was good, Dave.
Man, good
I'm
job.
clapping for
Yeah.
you.
I'm clapping for you.
Appreciate it.
Since nobody else is clapping
Yeah,
for
we
us.
think they are.
Oh,
We
they
just can't
are?
hear it. Yeah,
Oh,
that's how it
okay.
works.
I didn't hear
Um,
anybody, so.
So we're gonna answer a couple of these questions. What does OBB stand for? I don't know. Maybe they don't want us to talk about questions at all. Maybe let them just.
No, my thought.
They're
come
worried
back
that they're
on.
gonna ask some random.
I'm worried that
random
they're gonna
crap.
ask bad
We
questions.
don't trust you guys.
But if we
with your
make up our own
questions.
questions,
Is that
it's
it?
probably fine.
That's it. Probably. That's it. Yeah.
Man, see, we're geniuses.
See, they don't trust you. I don't trust either. They probably be asking some.
Like,
Bad
how tall are you?
Woo!
Yes, yeah,
How tall are you?
I'm about like 6 foot.
6 foot.
Yeah.
All right. I'm 6'1",
So you're
an inch
taller than
than
me?
him. Yeah.
I don't believe you.
See, look.
Let's
Look
stand up. Let's
Say
stand up.
one for you.
Stand up, Nick. Who's taller? I think I'm tall. But
I had another question.
what's your favorite thing to do?
Uh,
Like what? Maybe like
Hobbies?
hobby?
lately,
It
I
doesn't have to
really-
be a hobby, but just like what do you enjoy?
lately
doing?
I've been really into fishing. I've
Really?
been catching some big old
bass.
fish. No, I saltwater fish.
Oh, you don't.
We got a-
bass fish.
We got a saltwater ocean in our backyard. No, I'm kidding, but I go down to Florida a lot and
Yeah.
saltwater fish. You bass fish though.
I do, but I also very much enjoy saltwater fishing
They're both fun.
because I caught a shark once.
Freshwater fishing's fun. It's just, the fish are tiny.
Unless you catch a 10-pound bass, which has never happened for
I have a
me.
question for you. How long have you been in the band OVB?
As the guitar player?
Just in the band.
Oh,
Backup dancer, guitar player, the whole deal.
I think really since the beginning because we are brothers and we started the
Do
band.
you know what year we
together.
started in?
I
I
have
do.
no
I know
clue.
what year.
What
You
year?
really don't know?
I like 2002.
2002. I was born in 95. I would have been 7 years old.
That's not when you started.
2008.
Oh,
Yeah. We started the band in
Okay.
2008. Been doing it for a long time. Like we said, we're brothers.
we
We're missing one of our
wrote
brothers
a
right
couple
now.
songs and then
Oh, can we play this? The one that.
well
no,
then what I was gonna say is like then our mom heard it and she liked it, so
She
we
told
were
us
like,
to start a
hey,
band
we'll start playing.
because
some
mom
music.
said we were good.
Yeah. So
But this song we're gonna do, I've never sang it before, which is kind of funny
because me and Zach, our other brother, wrote it about me.
Mhm. So they wrote this song about me. I wasn't there, and I've never sang it before. So normally Zach always sings it and introduces it and tells the story behind it. So basically, I'll tell the story about myself. I was talking to this girl a long time ago, years and years ago. We were just talking,
Can you say
getting
her
to know
name?
each other. Yeah, her name was Lauren. Hey, hit her up. I probably shouldn't have said that, but
No,
she doesn't know this song's about her. It's all right. They wrote this song because I was like, I really want to know, like, are we a thing? Are we not a thing? What's the deal? I kind of was getting the feeling we weren't, but they really encouraged me. They said, hey, you gotta go
this,
just
bro.
ask her. Say, what are we? Are we a thing? Are we just friends? What is it? So I got the courage, went up to her and asked her, hey, what's the deal? Define the relationship. And she said, we are not a thing. And
Ooh.
she didn't even want to be friends.
Ooh.
No, I'm kidding. She didn't want to be friends.
Oh.
But, we weren't, obviously, because that never
It
happens.
never works out.
You never stay friends.
I don't know if I've ever seen it work out.
No.
Nobody's ever actually asked me to stay friends.
I mean, I would be friendly if I saw her. I wouldn't, yell at her.
Well, good. Yeah. I
We
mean,
probably
I
could
would
so
hope.
she's an adult and grown up.
But
Married, and I'm an adult, and I'm married, and you're probably over it. But
we still wrote a song, so.
this song is called "Is This a Thing?"
You remember how
I
to
don't
sing
know.
this?
I don't even know how it starts. Oh, I got it now. Every night we're talking on the phone. I give you space, but you don't want to be alone. Got me wondering where this is gonna go. This is gonna go. I'm thinking you are more than just a friend. If you think it too, then baby, just pretend it may be obvious, but I don't want to miss where this is gonna go. Girl, I gotta know, is this a thing? You and me, baby, is this a thing? Oh, you and me, girl. Giving every sign, but I'm a little slow. I know you think, but now that I should know, but won't you help me out? I don't wanna die. Could you spell it out? Girl, I gotta know, is this a thing? Oh, you and me, baby, is this a thing? Oh, you and me, girl. I've got to know, 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 I've got to know. So girl, I gotta know, is this a thing? Oh, you and me, baby, is this a thing? Oh, you and me, girl, is this a thing? Oh, you and me, baby.
Is this a thing? Oh, oh, you and me, girl.
That's it.
No, yeah. Then
That's
she
how it
said
is.
no.
She said no. Yeah. That's I mean, it happens sometimes. I've never asked someone. Actually, yeah, I've asked somebody out, and then they said they just rejected me. We weren't even friends. I just like met her on the street.
You being serious?
No, I'm kidding.
He's never been rejected.
No, I have. It's happened.
Hey, I was
It's
thinking,
happened to us
do you
all.
want to do one extra song that wasn't even on the set list?
Yeah, but I'm kind of scared.
Well, I just looked and noticed that we're supposed to go to like 8:10 or 8:15 before the next artist, and it's 8:05. So I figured we're already doing 8 songs we don't know. Might as well add another one.
We might as well add it. You want to do it?
You know them because you. I was thinking we could add that song we wrote.
Why don't we do this one? Oh, what song?
About what's it called?
Oh,
It's like another sad one. Since we're in this kind of like
kind of sad mood.
sad, moody song.
It's not really that sad, but it's
What's
like,
it called? Wrong One.
Oh, that was a cool song.
Yeah. So we wrote this song with a guy, producer out in LA. He lives in Nashville now, but he lived in LA at the time. He was writing it with another artist, and then they got arrested. And so he called us. See, when Zach tells these stories, he leaves out the parts that you're not supposed to say on camera. But I don't know those.
So good for us that he got arrested.
So the guy got arrested. So he was like, I got this chorus, but I need to write the rest of the song. So it's a pretty cool song. We wrote the verses, and
we took it. It's ours now. Because
I've been
fortunately
waiting-
at the time, we were not arrested. So, that's how it works out.
I've been wearing my heart out on my sleeve ever since a wave crashed over me. Kind of feeling like a rush of clarity, almost like the truth pouring out of me. No way he ever make you happy. He's only gonna drive you insane. He doesn't appreciate the beauty that you've got in space. You're gonna know what you got when he's gone. Gonna know that you're right and he's wrong. Listen carefully, baby. He's the wrong one, girl. He's the wrong one. He's the wrong one, girl. He's the wrong one. I'm the right one. You know I am. You know I am. He's the wrong one, girl. He's the wrong one. He's the wrong one, girl. He's the wrong one. I'm the right one. You know I am. You know I am.
hold on. Not the type of guy.
He's not the type of guy who's gonna make you laugh. He takes himself serious for that. It's time to leave the future in the past. You know it ain't right if you had to ask. And if he could, he would control you. I know you're dying to be free. You're locked in this cage, but girl, I swear to you, I've got the key. You're gonna know what you got when he's gone. Know I'm right for you and he's wrong. Listen carefully, baby. He's the wrong one, girl. He's the wrong one. He's the wrong one, girl. He's the wrong one. I'm the right one. You know I am. He's the wrong one, girl. He's the wrong one. He's the wrong one, girl. He's the wrong one. I'm the right one. You know I am. I promise, I swear to you, I'll be okay. You're only the love of my life. I promise, I swear to you, I'll be okay. You're only the love of my life. You probably think that you are better now. You only say that 'cause I'm not around. I know I never meant to let you down. Oh, I know you think that you are better now. You only say that 'cause I'm not around. I know I never meant to let you down. Let you down. He's the wrong one, girl. He's the wrong one. He's the wrong one, girl. He's the wrong one. I'm the right one. You know I am. You know I am. You know I am.
Again, just because we forgot a couple words there. I said
You don't know.
I mean him.
They didn't know, and then you said it.
Oh,
We wrote the words.
we wrote the words. Yeah, that's true. He didn't get them wrong. He just changed them.
I added it.
But yeah. So hey, pass me my sheet because
You're
I
gonna
get to introduce the next
You think she's ready?
performer.
Look it up for our
Well,
producer.
because
Top
we
left
still
corner.
have
Good to
still
go.
have 5 minutes, and it's going to take me 5 minutes to read through.
Yeah,
this.
she's got a whole list of
Yeah.
acclimates.
I mean, this is incredible.
Is that right? Lemonades?
Like,
Applicates.
like
She's got a lot of stuff that she's
there's a
done
lot
in
of
her life.
stuff. And
And
it's
she's
very
only-
impressive.
How old is she? Does it say on there?
She's only 14. 14.
It doesn't say that on here.
No,
We're just guessing.
We made
She's
up
probably
the number.
young because
It's kinda cool that we said the
she's
same
a new
number.
hot artist and all that.
Yeah.
Discovery.
She
Tell
is
us about it.
from Houston, Texas.
I've been there. She's from Houston, Texas.
It got to me off because of how it was
It
worded.
says she's Houston,
Houston,
Texas.
Texan Julia Cole is a CMT Next Artist Discovery CAA and Radio Disney country artist.
Wow.
Influenced by the genre-crossed locker room playlists she and her volleyball teammates blasted.
So she's multi-talented.
So she-
Volleyball
So she
and a
plays
singer.
sports and sings.
What can she not do?
Right? I'm wondering the
Probably
same
nothing.
thing. Yep. Julia's music blends authentic country storytelling with a little Houston rhythm and attitude.
Oh yeah.
Julia encourages good energy, summer vibes, and empowering self-worth through her records, live shows, and inclusive #Cole Team community.
Yeah.
Touring globally, she has opened for acts such as Dan and Shay. You know them.
I know them. They
I
started
mean-
talking about tequila.
Not personally, but they're incredible. The Chainsmokers, John Party, Carrie Underwood, Kenny Chesney, Dierks Bentley, Kane Brown, and more.
I would like to open for just one of them.
I know, right? Please welcome Julia Cole.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Thank you for that incredible intro. Wow, I cannot believe how sweet y'all are. That was such a fun show. I don't know how I'm gonna follow that crazy fun act. Brothers are hard to be as entertaining as. Y'all were hilarious. But I'm gonna play a few songs for you. Like they said, I did actually get my start performing in sports. I did national anthems for my own volleyball and basketball games. And it's been pretty fun and full circle this past year because this company, Mizuno, it's an athletic wear company. They were always the brand that my volleyball teams wore growing up. They've been using this next song that I'm going to play for y'all in their whole 2020 campaign. So it's been very full circle and very cool. But the song, Honey Child, it's a women's empowerment song. It's really empowering for anyone who's ever felt like you can't win and you're having that mentality that it's really hard to get out of the rut. And either it's you or somebody close to you, like a friend or a parent, just kicks your butt into gear and is like, keep going, keep being strong, keep staying exactly who you are, stay true to yourself, and things are gonna work out. So I hope you guys like it. I'm Julia Cole. This is Honey Child. Just wanna go home. I ain't feeling it. They ain't getting it. Free falling so low. When you caught me on the phone, you let me air it all out. All the twists and the turns and the hate and the burns holding me down. You said, baby girl, let it go. Honey child, keep growing wild like a blue bonnet in the breeze. Yeah, you might bend, but you won't break. No, your mama didn't raise you that way. Oh yeah, yeah, so much you made up. Oh yeah, yeah, go what you're afraid of. Be beautiful, you. It'll all be sweet as honey child, honey child, honey child, sweet as honey child, honey child, honey child. Don't change a damn thing. Stay just who you are. Yeah, trust your heart. Oh, baby, don't you think that's a real fine place to start? Honey you, and it'll all be sweet as honey, child, sweet as honey, child, honey, child. It'll all be sweet as honey, child. Beautiful you, and it'll all be sweet as you, beautiful you, and it'll all be sweet as honey, child. Keep growing wild like a bluebonnet in the breeze. Yeah, you might bend, but you won't break. No, your mama didn't raise you that way. Oh yeah, show 'em what you made of. Oh yeah, girl, what you afraid of. Beautiful you, it'll all be sweet as honey, child, sweet as honey, child, sweet as honey, child, sweet as honey, child, honey, child. Oh, yeah. My roommate sitting over on the couch clapping with her glass of wine. What a day. These virtual shows are, they're unique, but they are a blessing that we can still connect with people in this really bizarre 2020 year that we're having and the coronavirus situation. But thank you again, Daggy, for booking me on this one. I really appreciate it. And I'm gonna play a song that I really haven't played myself. It's a duet that it came out less than a month ago, and it just hit 1 million streams day before yesterday. My friend Spencer Crandall and I put it out together. And the first verse is a guy verse because that's what he sings. But I love how much people are loving the song. I actually wrote it about a relationship that I'm in, and it's called Things I Can't Say. And I hope you guys like it. If I can remember all of his parts of the song. Let's see. All right. See us on a ranch house with a pond, a couple kids with your baby blues. Bet I look good as a soccer mom, but ain't no way in hell that I'm telling you, 'cause it's only been 2 months and 6 days, and I ain't trying to sound crazy, but I love you. You're on the tip of my tongue, and I want you to want me to be the one, and I almost tell you every night when we're getting off FaceTime. I drunk text you, but let my friends read it first, 'cause it's too soon for those few little words. I'll tell you one day, but for now, babe, I'll add it to the list of the things I can't say. Hey. I had a daydream you proposed. We got hitched on the beach that day. Had a honeymoon on the Maui coast. Couldn't wipe the smile off my face. It's only been 2 months and 6 days, and I ain't trying to sound crazy, but I love you. You're on the tip of my tongue, and I want you to want me to be the one, and I almost tell you every night when we're getting off FaceTime. I drunk text you, but let my friends read it first, 'cause it's too soon for those few little words. I'll tell you one day, but for now, babe, I'll add it to the list of the things I can't say. Hey, yeah. I don't want to scare you off. You're the best thing that I've got. I don't want to scare you off. You're the best thing things I can't say. Hey, oh yeah. You know I want to, babe. Yeah, you know I want to, babe. Oh, you know I want to, babe. Add it to the list of the things I can't say. So that one's out by a buddy of mine named Spencer Crandall, and I'm featured on the second verse. We wrote it together with one of my best friends in the world, Josh Runnan. He and I co-produce all my stuff, and he's my song husband is how we phrase it. But Spencer's an amazing artist. Go listen to all of his other songs. He, I think, just passed, like, he just hit 1 million followers on TikTok and hit 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify. So he's having like the best month ever right now, and there's a lot to celebrate. So we're very happy for him and proud of him. Great dude. We actually have a Christmas song out together too. It's not quite time for Christmas music yet, so I won't play it, but y'all go check it out. It's Jingle Bells, and we sing that duet together, and it's just a little fireside, like, romantic Christmas song. So hope you guys check that one out and check Spencer out too. I figure I should play a couple of cover songs during this show for y'all. And this one, this is one of my favorite newer cover songs that's come out recently. It's really sweet. And for anyone who's ever been in love, you totally understand what they're talking about in this song. It's 10,000 Hours by Dan and Shay and Justin Bieber. Do you love the rain? Does it make you dance when you're drunk with your friends at a party? What's your favorite song? Does it make you smile? Do you think of me? When you close your eyes, tell me, what are you dreaming? Everything I want to know it all. I spent 10,000 hours and 10,000 more. If that's what it takes to learn that sweetheart of yours. And I might never get there, but I'm gonna try. This 10,000 hours, all the rest of my life, I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you. Do you miss the road that you grew up on? Do you get your middle name from your grandma? When you think about you forever now, do you think of me? When you close your eyes, tell me, what are you dreaming? Everything I want to know it all. I spent 10,000 hours and 10,000 more. If that's what it takes to learn that sweetheart of yours. And I might never get there, but I'm gonna try. This 10,000 hours, all the rest of my life, I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you. Oh, 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 yeah. Oh, want the goodie and the bad, everything in between. Gotta kill my curiosity. Oh, I spent 10,000 hours and 10,000 more. If that's what it takes to learn that sweetheart of yours. And I might never get there, but I'm gonna try. This 10,000 hours, all the rest of my life, I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you. Yeah. I'm gonna love you. you. I'm gonna love you. Shout out to Dan and Shay and Bieber. Fun fact, it was so fun being on the road with Dan and Shay. Shay Mooney and I have been friends for years. Nashville's a very small town. But when I was on tour with them, we were playing in Traverse City, Michigan for Cherry Fest, and we were right on the water. It was one of the most fun shows of my life because all these boats had docked up and there were, thousands of people on the land right there. It's like a Ferris wheel. The weather was perfect. And it was the day that the album and the single Tequila had gone #1 in the country. So they were having like the best day ever. And we played the show. Everything was amazing. Their set was incredible. And then after that, Shay and I went and bartended at all of the local bars and just bar hopped until bus call when they had to leave. And it was such a fun experience. Those are wonderful guys. And I don't feel like there's anybody more deserving of the success that they're having right now than them, because Lord knows they're talented and put the work in. I'm going to play another one of mine, I think. This one it's a little bit of a slower song, but which I don't have a ton of. It's very rare for me to play something more low key, but I wrote this song for my grandma for her 75th birthday, and my mom actually kind of asked me to write it. And so I was nervous. I was feeling kind of the pressure of like, well, I hope they like it. I hope it's 1/10 of as special as Maudie is. And I ended up sitting down in front of the fireplace, and the lyrics just kind of fell out. And by the end of the song, I realized that it wasn't just about my grandma. It was also about my mom. So this one goes out to all the grandmas, all the moms out there. I hope you guys send it to your moms and grandmas if you think they're angels and love them. And it's out everywhere. This one's called White Pearls. And again, I'm Julia Cole. For sure, hit me up on like Instagram, TikTok. I'm on all the other socials as well, but those are my two favorites. And I also have my phone number on there. If any of you want to text me, I can send you the links to songs. It's 281-336-9956. And I do respond. It is me. So I hope you guys reach out and we can stay connected. But if you want the link to this song or any of the other songs, just send me a text or find it on my socials or Spotify, Apple, all those fun things. This is White Pearls. You paint stories like the Sistine Chapel, make heaven out of apple pie, sweet tea on the side. The way you talk to God like he's an old friend would make anyone want to meet him. You're the voice of reason when I'm losing my mind. And oh, you're how I know. Angels wear white pearls and pray on front porch swings. Love the piano and ain't scared of damn near anything. Their daughters turn to mothers, raising their own baby girls. You're how I know angels. Angels wear white pearls. You got your own little garden of Eden, dogwoods and bluebirds feeding. I can never quite get my front yard looking good as yours. So I'll just have to visit much as I can. Lord knows I miss you. Your amazing grace inspires me. Yeah, I got faith 'cause I believe angels wear white pearls and pray on front porch swings. love the piano, and ain't scared to damn near anything. Their daughters turn to mothers, raising their own baby girls. Yeah, how I know angels. Angels with white pearls. Angels with white pearls. Whoa, whoa, angels wear white pearls and pray on front porch swings. Love the piano and ain't scared to damn near anything. Their daughters turn to mothers, raising their own baby girls. Daughters turn to mothers, raising their own baby girls. Their daughters turn to mothers, raising their own baby girls. You're how I know angels. Angels wear white pearls. Oh. Shout out to all the moms and the grandmas out there, your angels. We love you. We wouldn't be here without you. And I forgot what I can play next to bring up our mood a little bit. Oh, I'm gonna play a good old Nashville cheating song. This is a fun one. I just wrote this one and released it, and it's funny. I mean, I kind of recently started using TikTok, and I posted a video of the lyrics of this song, and it blew up. Millions of people have seen it on TikTok, and all these girls started this side piece challenge to the song, and they do these like makeup transformations. So they start out, you know, in like a robe with no makeup on, and by the end of it, they're like smoke shows. It's such a fun trend on TikTok. You'll have to go check it out. But this song, it's for anybody that's ever been lied to and moved on and honestly kind of felt sorry for their ex. Like, oh, your loss. This one's side piece. I'm Julia Cole. Hope you like it. The deadline at the office, swear you ain't got a choice. Friday at the ball game, catching drinks with the boys. A weekend at the lake house, when you knew I couldn't come. Another late night workout, an early morning run. So that's what you call your side piece. White like little stories, trying to hide it from me. Bless her heart, that poor thing. Honey, I'm so sorry. It's too bad you won't miss me when you reach for the real thing. All you feel is lonely. You can call your side piece. Call your side piece. Little lapse in judgment, a messed up nothing fling. A million I'm so sorry. Swear she don't mean a thing. A moment of weakness, just wouldn't think it straight. Or ride down the wrong road, stupid mistake. So that's what you call your side piece. White like little stories, trying to hide it from me. Bless her heart, that poor thing. Honey, I'm so sorry. It's too bad you gon' miss me when you reach for the real thing. All you feel is lonely. You can call your side piece. Call your side piece. might hit her up and tell her thanks. She's a saint for taking you off my hands. That's what you call your side piece. White lie little stories, trying to hide it from me. Bless her heart, that poor thing. Honey, I'm so sorry. It's too bad you gon' miss me. You reached for the real thing, and all you feel is lonely. You can call your side piece. Ooh, 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 ooh. Call your side piece. Ooh, 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 ooh. Call your side piece. Ooh, 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 ooh. Call your side piece. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh my gosh. Well, I hope you guys are having a fun time so far. Still have some more songs to play for you, but really hope that you guys reach out, connect. If you have TikTok, let me know what your TikTok is so I can go check yours out too. But again, my socials are at Julia Cole Music, and my number, if you want to text me, is 281-336-9956. So make sure you hit me up if you want the links to any of these songs, and I will get them to you. And it really is me. So yes, text me. And I'm going to play a new one that's not out yet. So nobody screen record this. I'm just kidding. If you just want it for yourself, but don't share it. This is a song that it's that fun, like very beginning of a relationship. Someone just asked what YouTube channel is it on. My YouTube is at Julia Cole Music as well. So it's youtube.com/Julia Cole Music. All these songs, I think all these songs are on there, except for this next one I'm going to play. It is not anywhere yet. But it's about that like beginning of a relationship situation that you're kind of stuck in when you're not really telling anybody yet because you're feeling out the situation still. But you get to that one point where you're like, okay, are we kind of going public with this? And it's a fun, flirty song, and it'll come out in 2021. I'm not releasing anything else for the remainder of this year, just because the two singles right now, Things I Can't Say, the duet with Spencer, and then Side Piece, which is just my song, they're doing so well that if I release anything underneath them, they would just be like swallowed into the vacuum and people wouldn't get to hear them. So I want to give these new song babies their own life in 2021. So if you guys want the song early though, I can also tell you how to do that. If you text me or reach out on Instagram or something like that. TikTok, the DMs are way too many, so don't do it on TikTok, but Instagram or text will work. But yeah, this one's called Hold My Hand, and I haven't really played it very much, so hopefully I don't mess up the words to it, but it's fun. I hope y'all like it. Low, we've been keeping it low key, rolling up in separate rides to the party. Slow, taking it slow like that oak tree. Bonfire burning, but I think I'm gonna let you hold my hand. I ain't even drunk. Let you pull me close enough, they all gonna know what's up. Baby, you can spin me around the head like this. Going hot and out, I know more. I'm gonna let you hold my hand. Baby, you can hold my hand. Ice, you're dropping ice down into 2 drinks. Friends whispering while you're walking one to me. Time, think it's time we kill the mystery. Baby, go ahead and kiss me. I'm gonna let you hold my hand. I ain't even drunk. Let you pull me close enough, they all gonna know what's up. Baby, you can spin me around the head like this. Going hot and out, I can no more. I'm gonna let you hold my hand. Baby, you can hold my hand. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. I don't care who sees When it's time to leave, baby, take me. I'm gonna let you hold my hand and walk me to your truck. Then watch you open up my door and help me climb on up. Baby, you can spin them tops right off the headlight dance floor. Ain't hiding how we're vibing no more. I'm gonna let you hold my hand and I ain't even jump. Let you pull me close enough, they all gonna know what's up. Baby, you can spin me round the headlight dance floor. Ain't hiding how we're vibing no more. I'm gonna let you hold my hand. Baby, you can hold my hand, yeah. Hold my hand, oh. Hold my hand, yeah. Na 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 na. You can hold my hand. That's a brand new one, not out anywhere. Sorry, you guys can't find it, but the production of it's super fun. It's kind of got this like, I don't know if y'all know the production feel of like Mood, that new song that's out, but it's like if you took that and put just a little bit of a twang on it, it's a really fun vibe. So that one will come out 2021. And if you want to hear it early, there is a way to hear it early. So send me a message. But I'm going to play a couple more songs for y'all. Let's see. We got about 15 more minutes. Trying to decide. We got to prioritize the songs here. I'm going to do, I feel like I'll do another cover for y'all because it's been a hot minute since I did a cover in this set. This one, it's one of the first collabs that was, I feel like, really pop, but also still country. And it went #1 on country and then went massively #1 on pop and like globally stayed #1 for a long time. It's BB Rexa and Florida Georgia Line, Meant to Be. And here's a fun fact that a lot of people don't realize about the song. This is not like a soapbox complaining about how females don't get played on country radio. But it is funny to me that they had to make 2 versions of the song. Even though it's BB Rexa's song featuring Florida Georgia Line, for country radio, they had to have FGL sing the first verse. They had to have a boy verse start the song. Pop radio, BB Rexa starts the song. So that just shows you a little bit of how like the politics and gender work in country radio. But if you haven't realized that, go listen. There are 2 versions out right now. And I love them both, so I'm going to cover it. This is Meant to Be. Baby, lay on back and relax. Kick your pretty feet up on my dash. No need to go nowhere fast. Let's enjoy it right here where we're at. Who knows where this road is supposed to lead? We got nothing but time. As long as you're right here next to me, everything's gonna be alright. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, just let it be. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, just let it be. So won't you ride with me, ride with me, see where this thing goes. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, just let it be. Oh yeah. I don't mean to be so uptight, but my heart's been hurt a couple times by a couple guys who didn't treat me right. I ain't gonna lie, ain't gonna lie. But I'm tired of the fake love. Show me what you're made of, boy, make me believe. Whoa, hold up, girl, don't you know you're beautiful? And it's easy to see. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, just let it be. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, just let it be. So come on, ride with me, we won't, maybe we do, maybe we don't. But if it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, just let it be. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, just let it be. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, just let it be. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, just let it be. So come on, ride with me, see where this thing goes. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, just let it be. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Shout out to the Baby Rexa and FGL fans out there. Hope y'all are enjoying this virtual show. I hope school hasn't been too weird and separated for the first semester. I hope everyone's staying safe, but at the same time getting to enjoy your friends a little bit and enjoy college, because college is the best thing ever. So much fun. Fun fact also, when I was in college, the Chainsmokers came and played at our school, and I was the opening act for them. And then for their whole set, I got to stay on stage with them and just like dance. And I brought up one of my best friends from my sorority, and we just danced on stage their entire set. And then we went to a house party, and they were like on tables, just dancing and partying. It was one of the most fun nights ever. But that was probably right before they had like the Halsey massive hit that blew them up into playing in stadiums and stuff. But really fun guys, really awesome dudes. Love their music and their personalities. I'm gonna play a couple more of my songs. This one came out at the end of 2019. Very ironically, it's called Be Where We Are. And little did we know that 2020, we were just going to have to stay exactly where we are and not travel anywhere because of restrictions. But the song is really meant to be about living in the moment and appreciating the time that you have with the people that you're with. As an artist that tours all over the world, all over the country, like I have a hard time enjoying the city that I'm in, because I know I'm going to 10 other cities and you're worried about catching a flight or what your itinerary is, or knowing your set list and making sure that everything is getting handled, that you don't necessarily get to even see the city that you're in. And it's just a reminder to myself and to everyone to take that step back whenever you can, to enjoy the person that you're having a conversation with, like that person that you get to have a movie night with or have a glass of wine with or whatever it is. Not that any of you are probably 21 yet, because this is a college, but have that glass of water with. But anyway, this one's called Be Where We Are, and it is out everywhere. So I hope you guys go and check this one out. Only bar with a jukebox, put $1 in for Willie and Tupac. But the AC is busted and it's real hot. You said, baby, let's bounce after this shot. And I know a million places we could go. But hold up, baby, slow down. Let's just be where we are right now. Ain't no rush, yeah, we got time. Let's live it up while the moon's high, just like you and I feeling this vibe. Something so good, don't want it to fly by. Hold up, baby, slow down. Let's just be where we are right now. I love it when you spin me around like that. Let's get lost in the soundtrack. Wish I could make it last forever like a new tag. But you can't get a moment like this back. So hold up, baby, slow down. be where we are right now. Yeah, yeah. Just be where we are right now. So I hope you guys are having fun being exactly where you are watching this virtual show, because hopefully I one day will get to actually come and play there in person and meet all y'all and sign some CDs and hand them out and do all that fun stuff that I miss so much about live touring and getting to actually connect with people face to face. But I think, let's see. It is, oh yeah, I have time for I think one more song because I don't want to get in trouble going over my 45-minute set. Those guys performing were so funny. I love them. Make sure you go check out their music too. But this is the last song I'm going to play for y'all tonight. Again, my name is Julia Cole. Please message me on socials. At Julia Cole Music is my Instagram and my TikTok and Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all of the fun things. And then my phone number is 281-336-9956. Send me a text and I can send y'all links to any of these songs, and also a way that you can get early access to signed stickers and merch and unreleased music and all sorts of fun stuff. So would love to connect with y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out. And the last one I'm going to play, it's a really special one to me. It was my first song to break 1 million streams, so it'll always hold that place in my heart. But the coolest part about it is that it's a message of empowerment for anyone who's ever had their trust betrayed by somebody close to them. And this is a lesson that I had to learn the hard way. But if someone is bringing negativity and bad vibes into your life, no matter how much time you've invested into them, and no matter how obligated you feel to stay in the relationship, you can move on without them, and you are strong enough to move on without them. So this one is called Trust You, and I'm Julia Cole. Thank y'all for having me. You might know my drink and my favorite seat at the corner bar. Yeah, you make me laugh and you got that swag with your left scar. You're talking a mile and I'm in it, swearing this time will be different. But you're crazy if you think I'll give it another shot. 'Cause ooh, I don't trust you. Boy, you lie, you lay down with someone. Ooh, when I dance with you, you double-crossed and you two-stepped around the truth. Hey, you do you, but baby, ooh, I can't trust you. Ooh, I can't trust you. Yeah, I used to think you were everything you could walk on water. I should thank your cheeks for the clarity, 'cause I'm moving on stronger. Quit talking a mile and I'm in it. You're wasting your breath with your begging. Yeah, you're crazy if you think I'll give it another shot. 'Cause ooh, I don't trust you. Boy, you lie, you lay down with someone. Ooh, when I dance with you, you double-crossed and you two-stepped around the truth. Hey, you do you, but baby, ooh, I can't trust you. Ooh, I can't trust you. I forgive you. Yeah, it's all good. It happened for a reason. Things all end up how they should. I forgive you. It's all good. I can't love you like I used to. I can't love you, I don't want to. 'Cause I don't trust you. Boy, you lie when you lay down with someone. Ooh, but when I dance with you, you double crossed and you two stepped around. Hey, you do it, oh baby, ooh, I can't trust you. Ooh, I can't trust you, oh baby, ooh, I can't trust you. Ooh, I can't trust you. Thank y'all so much for having me. I'm Julia Cole. Make sure you reach out. I'd love to connect with you and hope y'all have a great rest of the night. Bye, y'all.
That was awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Really good.
We watched your whole set, by the way. We were silently over here watching.
I'm not
Well, I loved watching y'all set too. It was so awesome and y'all are hilarious.
Thank you.
No.
Y'all make me miss my sisters.
Oh, that's sad.
She did it. It's better.
It's always better with your siblings. I'm leaning on my comedy because I don't know the words to any of these songs, so best I can. But hey, I gotta hold on 1 second.
Since I don't sing or do comedy, when Nick leaves, I'm just sitting here.
I just we weren't gonna do this song, but then I found this toothpick holder right here, and it makes a really nice shaker. It's got 2 tones, so I've got just a standard shaker and then a little more aggressive. See the difference there?
I do. I
So-
don't know if they do, but I do.
Found
Write-
a toothpick
Write
shaker.
a comment if you hear it.
Yeah, we're gonna
Yep, they do.
we'll be
They do.
answering all the comments later. So we're gonna do toothpick shaker song. This is a song we wrote. It's called Miraculous. Did we release this song? I'm trying to remember. I don't think we ever did even release it. We never released it. We wrote it. We recorded it.
Honestly, it was probably my favorite song that we ever.
It was
recorded.
fun. It was just a kind of a fun, like poppy jam song. It was a good time. Probably played it a few hundred times, and we were just trying playing it, just saying, I know about 3 of the words. So
Yeah.
we're gonna do the first verse, chorus, and then you'll see a little surprise
Yeah.
because I got the first verse.
But you don't know the second.
It starts with "It's crazy," right?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. If you want, you're just sitting around in your living room right now. You can clap like this. 1, 2, 3. It's crazy. We keep having this conversation. All right. Lately, you could be without my confession. You're amazing. Baby, can't you see? Baby, can't you see? It's magic. Baby, can't you see? It's just you and me. Hey! Now that I found you, can't live without you. Never gonna walk away from you now. You use your potions out of emotion. Something supernatural, miraculous. We could be miraculous. We could be miraculous. We could be miraculous. We could be. On and on, say do you remember? On and on, dancing in September. On and on, never was a cloudy day. We build it up right here. 1, 2, body, 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 body. Now that I found you, can't live without you. Never gonna walk away from you now. You use your potions out of emotion. It's something supernatural, miraculous. We could be miraculous. We could be miraculous. We could be miraculous. We could be.
Nice.
The shaker.
The shaker, it it made it, man.
If you missed it earlier, I'm the drummer for the band normally when our lead singer's here, but now I'm the lead
Hey, were you
singer.
impressed? Because earlier we were kind of like going over what we were going to do, and we decided, oh, we're going to do this little build thing.
Oh,
I
yeah,
said, there's no way I'm going to remember.
remember it.
And I remember.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we practiced long and hard for this. We did practice.
we
but
did practice, but we
with
had a
with another
different lead
member.
singer. Yeah,
We're having fun anyways though.
yeah, it is fun.
So we're gonna do another song that's a little bit dark and sad. First time I heard this song, promise you, I cried.
Yeah.
It's not what's on the set list there.
I know.
No, this song, to be honest, I have no idea what it's talking about. Honestly, I've watched a music video, I've listened to it a bunch of times, and I still don't know what it's talking about, but it just brings out every emotion in me. So we'll see if I can make it through. Heart on the run, keeps a hand on the gun, can't trust anyone. I was so sure what I needed was more, tried to shoot out the sun. And days that we raged, we flew off the page, such damage was done. I made it through, somebody knew I was meant for someone. So girl, leave your boots by the bed, we ain't leaving this room. If someone needs medical help or the magnolias bloom. It's cold in this house and I ain't going out to chop wood. So cover me up, you know you're enough to use me for good. Put your faith to the test when I tore off the dress, the Richmond on high. But I sobered up, I swore off that stuff forever this time. In the old lover scene, I thought it'd be me who helped him get home. But home was a dream, one that I never seen till you came along. Dress out to dry, we ain't leaving this room. So Percy, please break so be wide in the river runs through. Carries this house on the stones like a piece of driftwood. So cover me up, you know you're enough to use me for good.
I thought you were going to do the chorus one more time.
So girl, leave your boots by the bed, we ain't leaving this room. Till someone needs medical help or the magnolias bloom. It's cold in this house and I ain't going out to chop wood. So cover me up, you know you're enough to use me for good. See, do you know what that song's talking
I
about?
don't, but it's
Do you
beautiful.
really not? It's something about like
I read it once because I had no clue. Yeah, it's something about an alcohol problem, and then
He
his
helped him through
girl
it.
was like helping him,
Yeah.
and like stuck it out with him, and it was
Man,
like,
that song.
and the music video too. It's like, whoa,
It's a good song.
it's tough. It'll get you, make you cry, make me cry. Maybe not you.
Yeah.
Leave it in the comments if it makes you cry.
I love how we're promoting the comments like we get a royalty or something on every comment that PS plays, and they told us not even to use the comments. We just like to break the rules.
Yeah, we like comments too.
This next song really gets my kind of heartstrings. It might get yours, might not. Depends on, how big my
This is the type of song that'll get you.
If you're really like in touch with your emotions like I am, you'll get this song.
Yeah.
But pretty emotional guy, musician, you know the type.
Yeah. It's like all in your head or heart.
Let me hear the key.
It's literally the same key as the last one.
Wow, perfect.
And don't forget the first line. Something about bass fishing.
3. I've had a largemouth bass bust my line. A couple beautiful girls tell me goodbye. Trucks break down, dogs run out. Politicians live in fire. But the boss will take one hand. Count the things I can count on. 'Cause there ain't much, man. Ain't really let me down. Long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart. Diaries and football teams tore this boy apart. Things just dawned on me, the balls in his guitar. Long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart. She was a Carolina, 15 gravy, fire in her eyes that drove me crazy. It was red tail lights when she left town, but it didn't know now then. Long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart. Diamond rings and football teams that tore this boy apart. Time just dawned on me, the bars and this guitar. Long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart. Wait, I just remembered that line that I've messed up twice now. It's like a neon dream. She just dawned on me.
You want to try the whole chorus
2,
again?
ready. Long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart. A diamond rings football team tore this boy apart. Like a neon dream, it just dawned on me, the bars in this guitar. Long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart.
Nice. You remembered one line but forgot the other.
I did
but
the
it's
whole,
all right.
do the whole set again. I was kidding. Oh,
Well, hey, grab your sheet there. It's got a little cheat sheet because look at us. We did pretty great on timing this time.
yeah. 9:10 exactly. That's the time we're
Exactly
gonna
on time.
introduce our
Yep.
next artist. We yet again we have a list of his accomplishments here, some of the things he's done. So listen, our next artist is a Mexican-born, Texas-raised, Texas pride,
Texas.
queer poet and actor, multi-talented.
Wow.
If you're keeping up with us right here.
I'm trying to.
He's a founder of Laredo Border Slam, a founding member of Right About Now, and a 2-time San Antonio Slam champion. That sounds like a big deal. He has 2 self-published books. First off, I would like to mention, I maybe read 2 books in my whole life, and he's already written 2.
Wow.
I don't know how old he is,
That's
but
impressive.
I saw him earlier on the sound check, and he looked pretty young, so he's written 2 books in his life. I'm impressed. He's toured across the country, performing his spoken word set, and his work has appeared on Outsmart Magazine, the Latino Book Review Magazine 2020. It's been featured online in We Are Me Too. And how do you say that name?
George Takei.
George Takei. Did we say that right? Maybe.
Maybe. We're
Um,
bad with language. It's okay.
Poet Slam Inc., Button Poetry, and Right About Now. Everybody, welcome Chibbi. Come on.
What up, Cleveland State? Thanks, OBB, for that intro and your sets all night long. Shout out to all the other artists that have come on, Asia and Julia. Thank you guys for just moving the night and like really rocking it. I'm going to switch over real quick because I got the live stream playing. So if you are watching live on YouTube, I will read the comments if you put a comment in the YouTube chat there. Yeah, let's interact because again, everyone said it. This is weird. virtual performances are weird, but let's try and get as much level of engagement and interaction as we can. So feel free to use that comment section, type something in the chat. I will respond in some way. But full disclosure, this is actually only my second college gig ever. I've been performing, doing spoken words for like 13, 14 years, but it's only my second college gig ever. So chances are you don't know me from Adam. So I guess I should start by introducing myself. See, my birth name is Manuel Roberto Orduña Carretero. Way too many syllables for my little sister, so she called me Toto. To the rest of my family, it was still Manuel Roberto. That was too foreign for American integration, so I was whitewashed Robert. That was too basic for a boy who didn't know how to blend in, so I became Chibbi. But what's in a name? In looking at my lineage, I found that I am an ancestry of lost civilizations and colonized assimilations, Aztec and Spaniard, indigenous and immigrant. It seems I am both conquered and conquistador. And that's a hard pill to swallow. All this to say that I've always been defending or destroying a lost identity. I found clues in my curly hair and copper skin, baked in the southern sun, the drawl of a language that walks slowly in this heat, the clipping of words when I'm fixing to tell y'all I found out I am a first-generation Texan. That is what the teacher taught me in state history class. And I listened. When he talked about the Alamo, he juggled a curriculum that clashed with his own tongue. See, his accent told me he was probably more a descendant of Miguel Hidalgo than Davy Crockett. But his words told me to be proud, to be grateful of those who died. The rights and privileges currently afforded to me were bought and paid for with American blood. Who was I to deny the red, white, and blue looming a lone star of conquest in the corner of the classroom? Today I watch two sides debate the fate of lost dreamers, a modern-day Alamo. Everyone claiming this land is my home. Children native to this soil are uprooted, and what do? We send a call up to heaven. San Antonio de Padua, we pray they find their way. And I think this is wasted breath. These dreamers are not lost, they are displaced. And I find truth in their stories of a childhood of two cultures. See, I spoke English in the classroom and Spanish at home, ate tostadas for lunch and meatloaf for dinner, trying to find a balance between borders. And again, I come to my name and the many places it appears. A Mexican birth certificate, a resident alien card, a Texas driver's license, an American passport. See, I find I am all of them, and my story of a blended experience should not be the exception. For those who feel they are lost when a country tells them that they don't belong, when the barrios and the suburbs in the same city seem oceans apart, when those that oppress us do so despite the fact that this country was built by indigenous people and immigrants together. Let me remind you, the blood of millions toiled this soil long before America manifest destiny did seed on our ground. So don't tell me to go back to where I came from when this border crossed me. I found my identity. It formed in the laugh lines around my abuelo's smile, and the songs my papa sings that remind me what pride sounds like, and the spoonfuls of salsa on my mama's plate of migas. It passes through the mouths, lives on the tongue of every generation of immigrants. Identity isn't in our name. It is in our voice. If we don't speak it, it will be lost. If we stay silent, we don't exist. Thank you. Thank you. I see somebody word preach and period, and I feel that. See, I'm reading your comments. I forgot to start my timer so I don't go over time and they don't yell at me. In my work, I write a lot about identity and the intersectionality of identity, because so much of us are not just defined by one aspect of who we are and what makes us who we are. And I think that's a common thing in feeling out of place in this world, because people try to box you so that you're more easier to understand. But at the end of the day, you are only your authentic self and not what other people believe that you are. This was a poem that I read because I do workshops a lot for schools and the community. And I like to think you can't teach what you haven't already done. So this was a poem that I wrote that came out of a workshop that I facilitate. And it's after a poem by Patricia Smith called What It's Like to Be a Black Girl for Those of You Who Don't Know. So the name of this poem mirrors that. It is called What It's Like to Be a Mexican Born and Living in America for Those of You Who Don't Know. At the end of the day, it is compromising on the details. It's years of wondering how to fit in. It's divorced, split holidays between two countries. Neither feels like home. It is finding more comfort in the distance than the destination. It is running away to be different. It's different. It's thick, curly hair, a crown of thorns didn't choose to wear. It is weighing me down. It is heavy as the head that wears the crown. It's salvaged apology, a suit of armor for unknown neighborhoods. It has never been enough of one flavor to savor. It's spicy food and heartburn. Consumption with a side of rejection. It is a questioning palate, licking up answers. It is the rattling chains of cumbias and corridos. It's American rock, the liberator. It is rolled R's, the indicator. You're not from around here, from anywhere, really. It is hearing your parents' accent and seeing a marvelous roadblock. It is wanting to be more, less, always. It's editing. It is constantly editing. It is realizing your first draft was right. Your final draft is being written every day. It is every day, again and again and again. Thank y'all. I'm real Southern. I say y'all, you're gonna hear that a lot. And I drink a lot of water. Try to stay hydrated. So I think everyone has said it. You know, COVID has really made life a little weird, and shows a little weird, and headspace a little weird. And the one thing that I feel like we don't talk about enough in our society is mental health, you know, and checking in on that, and knowing that it's okay to talk about your mental health, even if it's not great, right? Because we all go through things, but we're taught that you should be stronger, right? You shouldn't talk about your problems, or if you're going through something and you feel sad, just, you know, like, well, be happy, you know, and that's not always the case, right? Backstory, let me rewind here. So, because we're all going through a lot right now, and I totally get that. And I just want to say that there is a light, right? There is a bright side, before I get into this poem. So backstory, even though I've been writing and performing for almost 15 years now, it was always kind of just like a side passion project. I didn't start doing it full time until about a year ago. And that was because a year ago, I got laid off from my corporate job that I'd had for almost a decade and was living very comfortably in. And it was a month of grieving, right? And that was the moment where I decided I was in my job because it was comfortable, but it wasn't really what I wanted to do. And at that point, I just threw myself wholeheartedly into my art, into my passion, into performing. I planned a tour. I went all across the United States, from Florida to Hawaii. I published a book. I just finished co-editing an anthology of poetry that's being released. We'll talk more about that later. That's being released this month, and just has really made my passion my life. So if you've gone through some hard times in these past 6 months because the coronavirus has really derailed your life, just keep going, keep moving forward, you know, find your drive and go in that direction. So all that to say, when this first started happening in March, I couldn't really process what we're going through. I didn't really know how to write about it. So I started just kind of doing these short journal entries, like, how do I feel today, right? Just a few sentences. How do I feel today? And a lot of times it wasn't great. But in just keeping going and staying connected in some way or another, there is hope. So this one is called 2 Months in May. On March 16th, we were compelled to stay at home, to barricade in the safety of our own depression, to isolate from our coping mechanisms, to fear fresh air and close contact, to embrace the trenches, to choose between possibly killing others or maybe killing ourselves. April 2nd, we had a plan. 30 days to normal. Instead of popping pixels, posturing as people we once knew, clinging to any digital contacts we can dial up, don't scare anybody, stifle in place, 2 weeks in, 4 to go, out again, the marathon and the mania will all be over if we all just stick to the plan. May will feel like spring. April 14th. Grocery stores remind me of middle school hallways. Darting eyes and judgment, the haves and the make-dos, nervous feet shuffle to avoid contact. We're bargaining with the odds, with this basket of what we got is all we got, and hopefully we don't bring home more than what we bought. Maybe tomorrow will be different. Probably not. April 24th. Uncertainty rises with the death toll. Every news screen looks like a Black Mirror cracked. I watch TV series because the horrors of Westworld are more palatable than this world. These are the places I go as sunlight starts to look like guilt, company and obligation, social distancing, a blessing. I look forward to the dusk when it is more acceptable to be drinking this much. May 5th, Nina Simone wails, but no one is feeling good. Freedom assaulted, science insulted, the market the priority. Amy, timely and timeless, sings, "What kind of fuckery is this?" Me and the Dow Jones, the bloody pulpit, the steps of every capital, the apathy of these quitters, Fomites for the passive genocide, the washing of hands, a pilot with a spray tan, the washing of hands so we can go back to work. Stop thinking so hard, stop feeling so much. And Nora, silk as she is, stills me. I've made a bed of this place, hoping this will all be over when I wake. May 16th, a severe thunderstorm. Like the earth and I needed a good cry for no reason other than how heavy the air feels. Some days the fickle wet is like a muddled lake. Others it is like a shower. And what was draining is swallowed. The blinds laugh and let in light and open to the belly of what was always there. Today, a freshness fills the void. And today, I find spring. And some days, there is morning, and others, a morning and movement. Today, I see the sun. Thanks, y'all. So, all that being said, finding out who you are, finding your identity, is a lifelong journey. I thought I knew who I was in high school. Boy, it's constantly evolving. It's this journey that you're on as new influences, new experiences continue to shape who you are. And college is one of those phenomenal experiences because you get exposed to so many different people. Especially if you travel to a different city to go to college. Like if you come from one place, but you're studying somewhere else, it just brings people together and you meet so many people and they come from so many different cultural backgrounds and walks of life. And make friends that will help shape you into the person that you ultimately become. So cherish these moments. I know how crazy it is. And so in my journey of discovery and trying to figure out who I am, one of the things that I realized was that the person I am today and the experiences that I'm having are shaped by all the people that came before me, all the people that fought to get us where we are today, all the people that struggled, and all the people that triumphed. And so this too came out of a workshop I facilitate. So this poem is kind of an invocation and a shout out to the people and the experiences that have helped to mold me and that continue to mold this place that we live in, this world that we live in, the society that we move through. So this one is called Finding Light. Water. I used to carry shame like a shield, and all its weight, shouldered a Wyoming fence post station to station, hunched and hurting, 14 years to Mount Calvary, walking straight with all that weight, eventually a tomb where I could disappear. The closets where I put on costume and courage to walk this dark sanctuary in broad daylight. El único joto, solo soltero y asustado. I have seen the beatings, heard the sermons, bullets, belts, blessings, 10 Hail Marys for each impure thought, and a long shot wish to shed the shield and unholster history. But all its weight felt like a burden, felt like oppression, felt like an island in a small town where out and proud looked like X marks the spot. I white-knuckled that shield, buried my nails into my palms, a self-imposed stigmata until I realized that a barrier looks like a bullseye for bullies. And I was tired of being target practice. See, if I was going to be fodder, I said, let me be juicy. Let me be rich. Let me drip wet shine. Let me be gold, light, and fighters, for fear has no home in my hunger. So I sharpened that shield into a spear, leather-bound, and harnessed the healing hands of history, black, brown, and brick. So here is to the riots that changed everything, to the coded language making it possible to find friends of Judy this side of the rainbow, to the milk cartons thrown at beautifully flamboyant bodies, to the bruises, to the bloody lips, to the blood, a grill of rubies, a string of pearls, a limp wrist, and a hard, cocky attitude, serving shade and spilling tea to the boys, too fluid to walk a straight line, losing cold nights in a celibate jail cell, to the tenacity of love, to the audacity of a kiss, to the times I have said, I'm tired, but kept going, to the times I was too tired to keep going, to the nail polish chipped off before coming home, for those of us who couldn't come home, to the eyeliner turned black eye and that right hook instinctually buried in that pious jaw, to counselors and experimenting on college campuses, to reclaiming my pink triangles and feeling my fabulous faggoty self emanating every shade of hair dye. True story, I had every shade of hair dye in college. To my RA and best friend Alex, and Hangout, and Standout, and QPOC, to the girls that were actually boys, to the boys that were actually neither, to the friends that listened, to the parents that never left us, to the family we found when everybody left us. For Matthew and Bree, Merci and Ria, for hundreds more, buried without a headline. To Harvey, to Marcia, to Baldwin, to Ginsburg, Guillermo, Gloria, Eddie and Gianni, to Annie and Elton and Freddie and India, to India, MJ, Dominique and Billy, to Bunny, to Rue, George, Ricky, Whitney, to Cher, Goddess Almighty, light and fighters all, to the pain and struggle that binds us, to our past victories and the losses ahead, to the journey to the light. to the future, to the fighters, to those that throw punches, to those that write memes, to the squad soldiering the steps of Congress, to the shy and uncomfortable souls still searching. Déjame decirte, el único joto ya no está solo. Somos luz. Somos luchadores. Somos lo que somos. We have found our home. We have found each other. We are light and fighters all. Thanks, y'all. All that to say, hold on to your communities. Hold on to the people around you. Hold on to your friends. All right. All we got is each other these days. This next poem, I said earlier, I write a lot about the intersectionality of identity. Wait, let me go back. Short promo. I made a video to that poem, a visual poem, as they call them. So if you're interested in seeing that, it is on my website. You can go to my website, GeminisPoetry.com. That's GEMINEYES poetry. See, gem in eyes. It's like I write or something. So that video is up on there. Also on there is a video that we did for this new anthology that we put out that we are selling to raise money and awareness around voter registration and voting. So if you are capable of registering to vote, make sure you do, and make sure you go make your voice heard. You know, that is this American right that we all have. So do that. So now on to the intersectionality of identity and exploring the multiple facets that make up who a person is. It is interesting to me how some people will only accept part of you as long as you keep the other part shut out. And no one is immune to this. It happens to everybody. And I wrote this poem one day when I was listening to NPR. That's how you know I'm in my 30s. I listen to NPR on the regular. I was listening to NPR and they were doing this story. I forgot what it was about, but they mentioned this painting that Frida Kahlo did. Frida Kahlo is a Mexican painter who did a lot of self-portraits. She does this painting where she paints two of herself. Backstory on Frida, she came, her dad was European and her mom was Mexican. So she came from this dual background, right? And so she paints herself looking dressed very European, and next to her is herself looking and dressed very Mexican. And she's connected by a vein and she's bleeding. And this painting came after a moment in her life when someone closest to her couldn't accept the European side of her and wanted her to ignore that part of her and just be this Mexican Frida. So kind of toyed with that idea and what it means to come from two places or to be multiple things, because I'm real Mexican, but I'm also real Texan. And here's this poem. It's called Las Dos Fridas. Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera, Mexico's most famous couple, divorced in 1939. That same year, Frida painted Las Dos Fridas, a double self-portrait. A European Frida in a white Victorian dress, holding hands. A Mexican Frida in a traditional Tehuana costume. Hearts exposed. She bleeds because her love cannot love all of her. 80 years later, y las dos Fridas viven, the mouth and the heart, because Americans cannot swallow all of me. And assimilation feels foul, like cactus thorns piercing between teeth. We are asked to divorce our culture, to give up a piece of ourselves, to fit in, quítate el nopal de la frente, a sacrifice to the white God for the privilege of living in this country. Like Frida, we bleed. Every time we are told to hide our accent, to only speak one language, we bleed when the features that foreign us are seen as stains, and we believe that white passing is the goal. We bleed. We are told how to look, what to wear, what to eat, who to be. We bleed. Every immigrant lives with these two Fridas inside them, one foot on each side of the border, a balancing act of identity. But immigrants are not the only ones asked to edit their differences, to Photoshop themselves into the perfect picture of white America. Isn't it funny how we paint ourselves in different lights? How even Beyonce has to bounce between being black or pop. How even Beyonce has two Fridas, but no freedom. See, code switching is nothing but a compromise to avoid persecution. We have become master manipulators of our image, cropping ourselves into smaller and smaller boxes. They say, be ashamed. Hide from the sun for fear of turning a deeper hue. Lighter means less threatening. Sane equals safe. America thrives on bleaching color to the bone, severing a symphony down to a single note. America profits on picking fruit trees clean, stripping the bark off our roots. America favors filters over facts, face-tuned skin tones, and smiles. Don't we look happy to be here? To be just like you? America, why are you so scared of color? Demand varnish with bleach. Arresting brushstrokes dissolve into watery scratch. Why do you want a white canvas instead of a masterpiece? Thank you. If you hear a little jingle bell happening in the background, that is my cat. He's just moseying about. One of the cool things about virtual shows, you get to see the authentic life of the artists that you're watching. So yes, there is a cat meandering. If he starts meowing, I will have to let him out because he will not stop until I open that door. Anywho, culture. Culture is a beautiful part of what makes up our identity. You know, speaking facts, I see you. And I'm curious, if you want to put in the comment section, please do. What are some of your favorite things about your culture? I would like to know. Because culture can really be so many different things, right? It's the music that we listen to. It's the clothes we wear. It is the way we speak, right? The regional cultures just across this country are amazing. How different areas of this country have unique words to talk about something that other areas don't use, or phrases. Again, if you're interested in podcasts, there's one called A Way with Words, that examines language. And it's just so fascinating to me how every region has their own colloquialisms, right? And their own way of speaking and their own phrases that make no sense to other parts of the country. So language is a part of our culture and what makes up our culture. But for me, and you know what? I was just getting to that. Someone said in the comments, Guatemalan food is the best. I can neither confirm nor deny that. But I can say food. Oh, same thing. I'm Lebanese and I love food and the idea of family being super close. Food is one of my favorite things about any culture. And as I traveled across this country performing, that was my thing. I was like, where am I at? What is your local food here? What is the culture of, what is the food of the cultures that live here? Because I have to have it, right? And everyone will swear that their culture's food is the best, and I am not going to knock you for it. But I'm going to say what everybody else is going to say. My mama's cooking beats everybody's, all right? And so I wrote this poem because my mom cooked for us growing up. She's an amazing woman, raised her kids, had a full-time job, went to school. She didn't get her bachelor's until she was well into her well in life. I don't know if my mom wants me to say her ages here, and still managed to cook for us. And it was so good. And so I wrote this poem shortly after I moved out and was living on my own, thinking about my mama's cooking. See, there is a reason that they call it salsa. Ha! To watch her cook. It is a dance that couldn't be choreographed. If you do it right, you feel it in your hips. Each spice a step 2, 3, 4, slice 6, 7, 8, and listen. A pianissimo pause to take it in. Before she makes her next allegro to watch my mother in the kitchen, she knows the refrain of each recipe, but ad-libs con apasionado to fine-tune each instrument con amore. While there is a bass melody, she has never written it down. She just knows. Poco a poco, she relishes in the crescendo, plated con molto festo. It is always an opus, performed for one night only, because again, she didn't write it down, which is why I am eating bagel bites for the 3rd night in a row. True story. I swear, I can never get her to teach me how to cook. Because she was always like, un poquito de esto, y nada más ponle, just sprinkle a little bit here, and just a handful, and a pinch, and a dash, and a dollop, and all those words in Spanish. And I'm like, how is anyone supposed to recreate this recipe? She's like, you just leave it on until it's ready. What does that mean? I need recipes, I need temperatures, I need times, and I sort of need measurements. I will take liberties with measurements. You can ask my husband. He's, I'm a little heavy-handed with the spices, just saying. But I've learned to cook since then. I'm just gonna put that out there. And I cook very well. Thank you. If you're interested in seeing some of my food, you can follow me on Instagram. I'll post it on my stories. It is very good food. Anywho, I digress. One of the main things I think that make up our identity as we go through this world is our experiences, specifically our love experiences, right? Who we love and how how we get through that. And like I said, I'm happily married now. It took a lot of trial and tribulation to get there. And it was so funny. I was watching This Is Us the other day. I know, I'm sorry, I'm that person. I was watching This Is Us the other day, and it's this episode where Kate, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, Kate just, like, her first boyfriend just broke up with her, and she is emo teenage girl to the max, right? Cannot be consoled at all. And her dad comes over to her, and he tells this story about how, like, when he cooks waffles for his kids, he always throws out the first one, right? It's a learning experience until you get to the good waffles. So I think that's very true for a lot of us, and the learning experiences that we have as we go through our relationships. So here's a love poem, sort of. When I saw him, it was love at first sight. Red pants, white shirt. I thought he was the circus. We got lost in the juggling acts, tossing highs, hellos, and awkward glances back and forth until finally he said, I'll call you. So we jumped through moonlit hoops, bouncing phone call conversations, stretching 3 hours wide. There was no thunderous applause, not even an audience. It was just him and me, and I loved him so hard. The pressure made him diamond sharp. The more I pressed myself against his skin, cut deeper until he was able to crawl inside. I made him precious. They say diamonds last forever, but the circus always leaves town, and he was no exception. I wondered, how did he balance being human with being eternal? That summer we traded sneakers. I always wanted to walk in his shoes, but he was the kind that ran towards anything that looked good enough to be a bad idea. With the wind in his hair, the glaze in his eyes, pupils so big, top wide, a trapeze that couldn't be this dangerous. He could balance a needle on a vein, and I followed him up there. On the road, follow Kerouac, follow Burroughs, a queer junkie unafraid to howl in America, seasoned with Ginsberg. He was a hunter, tied Thompson to his arrow, bent bow, back shot, straight fire, fear and loathing in every direction. He had a backpack full of stories from where he had been. He had nothing ready for where he was going. He had the most vivid memory for someone that forgets to keep his eyes open. And I followed him until the back of his head became more familiar than his face. I realized we were a magic act. He would always be around, but never for too long. We were two stars crossing the night sky, too bright to stay put, burned brighter when we were in each other's orbit, burned as we got higher, burned as we fell faster, burned like supernovas. So bright, so destructive. I was a dwarf by comparison. Eventually, he burned himself out and became rumors. I would find him between whispers of monasteries and rehabs, California or Virginia. I drove through corn-covered farm roads and dead president cities to find him. I always found him better than when he left me. He would find himself long enough to find his way back into my arms before getting lost again. I found out I couldn't keep doing this disappearing act. I let the train take him. Boxcar compartments kept his secrets, but I am no clown. My makeup is on my hands, and this house of mirrors lost its magic long ago. We made promises as big as an elephant, but he could never be tamed. He is wild like the ocean. Only the moon can move him. And I still get lost in the juggling acts. Remembering that summer when two hearts said forever like it was something tangible. Like the circus would never end. It would have never worked out. He was an Aries. I'm a Gemini, in case you couldn't tell by my Instagram handle / website. I am a Gemini. My husband's an Aquarius. We make a fantastic match and a balance. So shout out to all the Geminis out there in virtual land. I am a quintessential Gemini. Like whatever you've heard about Geminis is absolutely true. That's me. You know, it is what it is. I don't deny it. And I think there's a lot of Gemini haters out there, but I think there's a place for each star sign in this world, and especially as you start to bring them together. You know, certain pairs, groups, work very well for very different reasons. I'm very creative and fast moving and just thinking of things on the spot. I forget to write them down. My sister is a Virgo. She is phenomenal at note-taking and meticulous about everything that she does, right? And keeping things in order. So we did a play a few years ago, and I directed, and she was my assistant director. And I'm just out there like, ooh, and put that there, and move there, and make sure on that line you cross to there. And can we have lighting coming down in this direction, you know, like a spotlight? What did I say? And she's right behind me. She got it all figured out, and like we were able to pull that together, and it was amazing. So very fond memories of that. And so I wrote this poem for my sister. I think I got time for like 3 more. So I wrote this poem for my sister, who is a Virgo. And I've been told that I got it right. Okay, so if you're a Virgo out there and you're watching this right now, whether I'm right or completely wrong, actually, if I'm right, put it in the comments section. If I'm wrong, keep it to yourself. But I've been told by many a Virgo that I got this right. So first off, the internet defines a Virgo as existing in the mind. Everything's inside. To the world, Virgo presents a calm and collected exterior, but on the inside, they are nervous, uncontrolled intensity. Constantly trying to figure things out, analyzing and thinking how to improve everything. Virgo has a constant drive to improve and perfect. This can lead to extreme pickiness and finickiness, but they are pure. Their motives are honest, never malicious. Virgo is as honest as the earth. I define Virgo as my sister. Upon opening her mouth, her words whisper up a tornado. Know that when she speaks, it isn't just hot air blowing. It is Mother Nature letting you know that she has been affected. My sister is climate change. Ignore her or put her voice in the same box labeled conspiracy defiant. She grows stronger. My sister is a Virgo. She has been fingering data like Braille. She reads the signs those with sight miss. Patient. She has been pushed by external forces to grow. When you meet her, you can either stop and admire or you can go around, but I suggest you do the former. My sister is thought to be mountain, but the Aztecs knew better. They named her centuries ago. My sister is Popocatépetl, meaning the smoking mountain. My sister is a volcano, shrouded in Appalachian white, so easily mistaken for cold serenity, subterranean, a ceaseless churning of conception, a tireless conviction to theory, analysis, emotion. Her touch gives you warmth, while her tongue gives you whiplash. Do not mistake silent for dormant. In her core, she knows only how to give birth to fire. My sister is not the alpha or the omega. She is the process by which this earth takes back and builds itself anew, a cleansing, a re-becoming. She is the reason islands turned into continents, chaos made order. My sister, my volcano, my Virgo. Thank y'all. Thunderous applause, I assume, out there somewhere in TV land. I got two more for you. One semi-lengthy and a short one to close it out. But these last two basically sum up the same thing, which is, I hope if there's one thing you've gotten from my set today, from these poems, from this experience, is that you have a voice and you have a right to exist and you have a right to your identity, and nobody can tell you otherwise. You matter. You matter. Your voice matters. Everything about you matters. So celebrate it. Because there are people saying that I shouldn't be writing this poem. Some people would say that I don't have the right. Confession number one. I was born in a city with more letters in its name than Sesame Street could sponsor in a whole season. I held a resident alien card so long, I wondered if eventually my skin would turn green. I can hold out a grito like un mariachi chingona y muevo las caderas bien sexy como Shakira. These baby-making hips do not lie. Hay un fuego adentro, a fire inside that can only be fueled by habaneros and carne asadas, and yet I can name the 50 states in alphabetical order faster than tequila tends to disappear at a family reunion, but still, I shouldn't be writing these poems. Some people would say that I don't have the right. Confession number two. Football and soccer are both equally confusing to me. See, in high school, PE did not stand for physical education, but rather painfully excruciating. I wore blazers and bow ties while other kids wore khakis and polos. I found music and math to be far more interesting than monster trucks, but I could still kick your ass at Mortal Kombat, so long as you let me be Sub-Zero. But nobody wanted to be known as the guy that got his ass kicked by a fag, so I could see why I shouldn't be writing this poem. Or you think that I don't have the right. Confession number three. I had a hard time getting through church. Maybe I just didn't believe that I could search for God if I was sitting still. Once, I thought I found God in the Spice Girls. I am not kidding, and I know most of you are way too young to know who the Spice Girls are, so just trust me when I say I found God in the Spice Girls. Maybe it was their individuality that made them so universal, but I thought that is what God must be like. So unique and diverse that everybody, no matter who they are, sees their image and God in their image. I see God in everybody, and usually I will take God home at the end of the night, and he is always beautiful, and we will find God together, and God damn it, they cannot tell us that we are wrong. but they are still telling us that we are not right, that I shouldn't be writing this poem, that I don't have that right. Confession number 4. I shouldn't have to write this poem. I shouldn't live in a state that protects bigotry and homophobia and calls it traditional family values, where the right to discriminate is given precedence over the right to life, where the facts are irrelevant so long as the fear is real. Houston set the example. Gave a public podium for people's private moments, gave hate-based fear equal protection under the law, dictated bathroom privileges, said a bathroom bully has the right to pray and the right to pray. Who gets caught in the crosshairs? Who fires judgment? Where hate chooses to target, I act surprised. I'm not. I shouldn't be writing this poem. My name is Manuel Roberto Orduña Carretero. I was born in Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, and yes, I am gay. None of these are a choice. Misinformation, that's a choice. Manipulation of the facts, that's a choice. Ignorance, that affects people's lives. Maybe I shouldn't be writing this poem. Maybe I don't have that right, but I have been wrong enough times to know that nobody is perfect, seen enough places to get that everyone comes from somewhere. So if my existence and persistence offends you, I forgive you. Thank you. I got one more quick short one. Close this out. If you're interested in following me and my life and activities, want to find my books or anything, Gemini's, GEMINEYES on Instagram, Gemini's Poetry on Twitter, and GeminisPoetry.com. So no matter what people tell you out there, you be you. You be your authentic self. Don't let the haters get to you. This is called How I Learned to Fly. It doesn't always take feather to defy physics, give gravity the bird. Sometimes it takes steel, an iron resolve, to tell the earth, you cannot hold me down, to dare Zeus to strike you more than once and not make a conductor out of you. It takes an incredulous amount of imagination to make steel featherweight. Even heavy souls need lifting. It takes courage, the kind they call crazy, to think yourself worthy of being amongst the gods, to challenge almighty Aphrodite, to test the limits of what separates gods and men, to know that you don't have to be half God to fight your demons, to know divinity can be found in mortality, to not let mortality hold you back from holy. Just ask Eros about Psyche. He can tell you it takes wind, harnessed at just the right angle to gain ground, to leverage the power of Zephyr, to lift yourself up, to be amongst the stars. It is okay to stare into the sun and say, I outshine you, to challenge prophetic Apollo, to tell you otherwise, to look fear in the eye and say, I see you. Now step aside. I'm going up. Thank you, Cleveland State University. Y'all have a good night. Enjoy your homecoming. Mwah.
All right.
Come on. I don't know if you guys look up his Instagram to see his food that he's been cooking, but I was just trying to find it. So are you still on here? Is he here?
Chibbi. Oh, there he
Yes,
is.
yes,
What's
yes.
his Instagram was? I was trying to find it. So.
Sorry, it's GEMINEYES. Gem in eyes.
We'll see some of your food. We're yeah.
We
Thanks
like food.
Thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks for
Yeah.
tuning in, watching. I know it's maybe kind of different than what you're used to. If you're used to going to live events, where probably it's a little more live. It's hard, trust me. Especially what he just did. I don't know how I would just be able to.
I'm sure it is it is for us a completely different vibe though. So really major.
No
kudos.
feedback from the
Yeah.
crowd makes it hard. But
Yeah.
but we're glad to be here. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching. We're gonna do one more song.
Thanks for having us, even
Yeah.
though it's only 2 out of the 3,
Yeah.
but life happens. So
This last song we're gonna do is an original song we wrote. It's actually it was a big song for us. Google, the tech company, picked it up and put it in one of their major. First, it was a nationwide campaign for one of their laptops, the Chromebook, and then they ended up doing another year in a worldwide campaign. So we got a lot of exposure from this on this song from them. We appreciate that. Thank you, Google. And they sent us all free phones. So you can't complain.
Free phones.
So this song is called Mona Lisa. Hit it.
are a walking masterpiece. Shame they keep you under lock and key. You're a diamond, I was born a thief. No one else does what you do to me. I don't even know what to do around you. Feel a little dangerous around you. Feeling dangerous. Heart starts beating right out of my chest, and I'm feeling my palms and it's starting to sweat. More than a thrill, and I gotta have you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You're the Mona Lisa, baby. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm thinking I could steal you, baby. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Go together, baby, baby. Even if I just got one in a million, I'm gonna take my chances. Mona, 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 Mona. Hey, Mona, 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 Mona. It goes like this. I don't even know what to do around you. Feel a little dangerous around you. Heart starts beating right out of my chest, and I'm feeling my palms and I'm starting to sweat. More than a thrill, and I gotta have you. I gotta have you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You're the Mona Lisa, baby. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm thinking I could steal you, baby. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Say it can't be done, but baby, even if I just got one in a million, I'm gonna take my chances.
Hey, thanks so much for being on this live event with us.
We've had a great time.
Yeah.
I hope you all have had a great time. All the artists that came out, thanks so much. Really incredible, top notch.
Yeah. We'll be doing it again tomorrow at the same time. Not really.
No,
I wish.
I
Maybe
think we
should
got to
close
pass
with
it back
that.
over to Eric.
Eric, yeah, Eric, you on here?
I think.
He could be asleep. It's like,
There's Eric.
there's Eric.
Yeah, I'm on.
All right. Thanks so much, Eric.
Thanks, guys. I just wanted to say thanks everyone for coming out and watching. We had really fun putting this all together and putting this whole week together. So I hope you guys really enjoyed all the artists. I know they were really awesome. So go check them out. I know they listed all of their social media and stuff. So yeah, that was our show, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.